Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Book Club, the show where we get a group of panelists, some guests, and myself get together and we talk some video games, some music, some movies, a bit of everything. And today is a first for us. Last week we had a first. We talked about the first book on Book Club. I know that was a shocker because we usually just do movies and music albums, but we did a book last week, and today we're doing another first. We're doing a video game. We're talking Halo Motherfucking 3. What the fuck is a Motherfucking 3? Halo Motherfucking 3 we're playing. That's right. And we have some lovely guests to join us today. Hold on, wait, where's the music? I like the music to be playing. I've lost it. We've lost it. All right, here we go. Anyways, alrighty. Introducing first, from last week's episode, we heavily talked about Halo Fall of Reach, and it was a blast talking to him, and I'm so happy to have him back for Halo 3 Talk. It's Mr. Imp Black Belt. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddy. How you doing today?
Yeah, see? We're gonna go rob some banks and then find the local whores. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm excited to be back. Brought back the Autism Master Chief again too.
I love it. Hold on, with the bust that.
Hell yeah. Also, I got chat on my side.
Oh,
too.
nice.
I just popped out the chat. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for letting me know that Insidious said late in Polish. Hey, guess who didn't even show up? Anyways, Insidious can't show up, cause
this is getting cucked by his power company.
He's getting. We'll get into some cucking in a second here. We've learned some.
Oh Lord.
Late.
It'll make me sweaty over here.
Breaking news. Click holding on Steam for sale, $3. Let's go. Anyways, hell yeah, I am excited to be talking some Halo 3 and glad to have you back. Freaking awesome. Legend here. I don't know if I have to put links down below, but everybody go subscribe to Imp everywhere you can. And next we have like I was saying, Insidious can't make it because his apparently the show is a curse. Wednesdays is a curse to wherever he lives. He lives in freaking what were we joking about backstage? Dorothy, and he's fucking Dorothy right now in The Wizard of Oz. Anyways, next we got the Melee crew to help us. Yeah, that's right. We threw you in. Get wrecked.
Wait, Paul. Insidious is fucking Dorothy.
He's fucking Dorothy right now.
That's
in the tornado.
That's right.
Oh my god.
That's
a
right.
new Twister movie for you. There you go.
That's
It's a Twister. It's a Twister.
That'd be a better Twister movie than the one that just came out. Actually,
could you imagine the crossover?
I heard that was good.
Oh, did you? The crossover?
I heard it was good.
That would be a great crossover.
I have a question, Paul. You said we're reviewing and discussing Halo 3.
Yes.
I thought we were reviewing sex toys. Oh, I did the wrong homework. I need to go play Halo 3.
No.
I just got finished testing 5 sex toys here. Now you tell me I have to play a video game. Oh my god.
If one is Sangeli shaped, then you're
Okay.
perfectly qualified for
One of them was called the Gravity Hammer, so it's
Okay.
pretty
You're good.
it's pretty
Good.
close. It's pretty close to
let's
playing
get
Halo
this
3.
over with.
Okay.
I see the confusion.
Okay.
Don't lie. I know what you were doing, James. You were playing click holding, as we found.
While using the Gravity Hammer.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'll leave it up to
my
your
God.
imagination on how you use it. Ladies.
Oh my god. Melee games. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm great.
Y'all just did some Halo the other day with Dude with the wacky
Custom
stuff.
matches. It was
Yeah.
insane.
It was wacky tech support night.
Yeah,
It was
what
great.
I didn't get to play was a blast. I'm sorry I didn't get to stay longer.
Oh, it's all good, man. It's always a shit show because of Master Chief Collection. But yeah, we just got finished doing Halo Month. Today's the last day of Halo Month over on the Melee Games channel, and I love that we get to send it off with you guys, Paul, on your channel here, and we get to talk about one of my favorite games of all time. Spoiler: I somewhat like this game. And yeah, we just got finished playing some custom night with Dude, which is something I never got to play, but that is something we can talk about. We can get into that because that is a part of Halo 3. Until it wasn't. and then that turned into Halo 4, and it was even more of a shit show. But we're here to talk about the good, not the bad. So let's go into it.
Well, before we start, because Insidious's power went out, he had some pre-show notes that he wanted me to say. He said, this was the game before Halo got good.
Before it got good? What?
And also, which Halo is better? Humans were the Forerunners or this retcon nonsense?
What? I'm
What
so
did
confused.
Halo 3 retcon? What?
Wait.
I think he was trolling.
I think he's trolling too.
I'm reading verbatim what he said.
His notes plus Paul's dialect is just causing me to blue screen like I did last night while playing Halo. Like for something, Halo just causes blue screens no matter what in some capacity.
Yes, he was
That's all I
trolling
know.
and saying that this was the Halo before Halo got good.
Hey, I mean, there's some people that love ODST the best. There's some people that love Reach the best. And if you go beyond that, you're wrong. But that's okay. I still like you.
Yes. Alrighty. But yeah, no. I kind of compartmentalized how I wanted to, do the show. I figure we start with the hype around, the release of it and the hype around the release of it. I remember I was working at an electronics store at the time, and people were absolutely super hyped for this. Do you guys have any hype stories or remember?
Yes.
Not specifically a hype story, but I didn't play Halo 3 when it came out, so I'm coming on the panel as I beat it for the first time
That's
recently.
true.
That
was
was me
good
too, actually.
And I have a very different perspective maybe
Wow.
than some of the people in the audience that have been longtime fans. But for me, when Halo was coming out, that was literally everything that consumed video game media completely. So I was watching G4 at the time, and they were just nonstop 360 coverage and talking about Halo and interviewing people, and everyone was screaming and shouting, and people were cosplaying, and it just really felt like the industry was alive at that point, and everyone was rallied for one goal, and that one goal was we got to pick up Halo 3 at midnight and we're going to play the shit out of this. And it was just super cool to witness from an outside perspective to see how much the industry loved it, and it could do no wrong. And looking back on that, it's I think Halo had the potential to be one of the biggest series in the world, and obviously going beyond Halo 3, that didn't quite happen. It fell off a bit. But at that time, it felt like you were at the height similar to, when Lord of the Rings was huge, or Star Wars, or Dune, or anything really. So it was a really exciting time to be in video games. It was an exciting time just to be a gamer in general.
And to piggyback on that, I'm much the same way. It came out in September 2007. I was actually still in military training at the time. I did not have the opportunity to pick it up. I did own a 360, but it was at home several states away. So I was not able to actually pick it up, get it, do all this stuff. And I actually also missed Halo 4 because I was just on my way out of the military around that time too. So coming back and seeing it, because I missed the hype for the most part, almost entirely. Nobody on my ship played it. No one that I knew personally played it. But I actually agree entirely. Seeing all of the hype, everything surrounding it, people cosplaying it, I wouldn't even say that it was on its way to becoming one of the greatest gaming series of all time. I would say it really still is. The staying power of how strong Halo 1 through 3 and Halo Reach were, ODST, that whole thing was so strong that it powered through how terrible 4, 5 were, and how Infinite really tried to pick it up, but still kind of fumbled it in some ways. I really think that despite everything, how bad 343 fucked it up, it's still such a culturally relevant thing that it's just, there you go. It's got a TV show that's still terrible, but there you go.
Yeah.
And that TV show is currently still canceled. But the word that I keep telling, that keeps coming up when I talk about Halo and Halo being on top and the anticipation that you guys talked about, is missing it and longing for it. And I keep talking with people about Halo, and there's a sense almost of like loss because everyone misses this feeling. And even if like, hey, if you weren't like directly involved in it, like I was, you know, like I can get into it. Halo 3 is my most anticipated game ever, and the energy was absolutely special. But there's a feeling that I get from a lot of people that they just miss the overall feeling of the industry and the feeling that came with that last quarter 2007 that really was led the charge with Halo 3. So it's really sad to see. I don't know if Halo is ever going to come back. It does, you know, live in the past, and it is very comparable for me to Star Wars, where it's something that was amazing, and then it had fumble after fumble after fumble, and now it is what it is now. Like the last thing is a canceled TV show that everyone hated, and a Dolby Digital ad where Master Chief appeared for 2 seconds just to advertise Dolby. But
I have a question, actually.
Yeah.
So, Paul, did you play it right at launch as well?
Shortly after it launched, yeah, I
Okay.
played.
Because I'm curious, like, the commercials were a huge deal back then. All the promotional stuff in the videos. And there was, like,
Yes.
that Believe trailer. There was a bunch of trailers that came out back in the day. So I don't have an attachment to that trailers, but I'm curious, like, for you and James, like, what was the feeling seeing those trailers for the first time?
I mean, so I wasn't also I also came into Halo pretty late, so I just got into Halo pretty much shortly before Halo 3 was about to release. So I only did a little bit of Halo 2 online, and I picked it up pretty late. So I was pretty like the commercials were still like iconic and classic, but to me, I wasn't on that same level of like, oh my god kind of level. I was just like, all right, like I'm in for the ride kind of deal. And yeah, no, those commercials and the hype around it. Like I said, I worked at an electronics store, Best Buy at the time. The promotional posters, I think you guys talked about recently, and I saw it too on Twitter, that one Best Buy or something or GameStop that still has that, like, pretty much this poster right here that of Halo 3.
Yeah, they've got
Yeah.
the wrap on the side window, and it goes, like, all the way down. It's
I
pretty
took
cool.
home pretty much a long like banner after the Halo 3 came out. They were throwing away all the promotional stuff, and I took home and had for the longest time this like just long like pretty decent size little just banner that I took home from Best Buy when I worked there, and I'm mad because I think I like threw it away like 10 years ago or something like that, but
No.
Oh man.
yeah, I'm kicking
Yeah,
myself.
I
It's,
know that feeling. That sucks. That
yeah,
hurts when
but,
you do that.
but it was just a little thing I brought home because like you know, I really did fall in love with Halo 3, especially the multiplayer, because I honestly, when it comes to campaigns and stuff, I really just am like a one and done person. So I really didn't play through the campaign much. I didn't try to be like, oh, let's get more achievement. Oh, let's try it on a higher difficulty. It's like, oh, I got the story. I played the campaign. Let's play multiplayer like constantly and forever. So
That's still valid. That's still a valid thing. Like I
For
can
sure.
understand, but yeah.
So I was more excited when it was coming out, for like the multiplayer and stuff like that, more than anything, I think. So again, I wasn't like, I don't know, I was just like, all right, cool, update, you know. So to me, the hype wasn't fully intensified. It was more like I was more excited to just see how it was gonna go, because I was trying to avoid the hype of the industry. You mentioned G4, and I was actually last night watching the website I used to frequent and watch reviews from was Game Trailers, and I actually last night found an old Game Trailers review of Halo 3, and those guys, although they had like valid criticisms of the game that I agree with, actually, they still rated it at a 9.8. And I'm like, with those critiques,
Yeah.
I was like, the way the video went and they critiqued it, it sounded like it was going to be like the lower nines, but they still rated it at 9.8. So
8
the
out
hype-
of 10, too much water.
But yeah, no, I like I said, the hype around the game and the advertisements, the reviews, like literally all the game, like you mentioned, G4 was going crazy. The game trailers go like every journalist thing was like hyping the hell out of this game up, and I do miss that like excitement, like James was talking about, like just just like, oh my god, a game to be excited for, a game to be the first one to get in line and get it. Like, yeah, that magic is gone, and it is kind of sad. So
Yeah,
and with the closing of the 360 store, man, that also kind of hits home.
Yeah, man.
With
End of an era.
End of an
That
era,
hit me
exactly.
Yeah, that store closing, even though I couldn't really take advantage of it, that hit me in the feels too.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's and then Kay, to answer your question, like as someone that was a fan of Halo 1 and then Halo 2 and then hyped for Halo 3, what Paul said, like on for the ride, that's exactly what it was. Is it felt like a roller coaster that only like ended once you beat Halo 3. So as soon as that launch trailer hit, as soon as Master Chief walked out into that like desert storm effectively, and you were hearing Cortana's voice, that opening reveal trailer, it like as a diehard fan, it was just like, we're locked in. We're in, and now all we're doing is talking about Halo, getting hyped for Halo, and every little trailer we were watching, and we were playing Halo 2 multiplayer non-frickin' stop, guessing how this would be different, guessing like what the ending would be, how would we finish the fight. Because you have to remember that Halo 2, it was heavily criticized when it came out, but Halo 2 ended on a cliffhanger. And when you end on a cliffhanger, you need to deliver in that next that final part there. And to me, Halo 3, without getting too much ahead, it absolutely did deliver. And you finish the fight and everything. There's been movies I've seen where they end on cliffhangers, and then whatever follows up is a complete letdown, and then that former movie's effectively destroyed. But we were all anticipating it. We were all so hyped for Halo 3. Of course, rolling into the whole Believe marketing campaign, arguably the best marketing campaign in the history of gaming, where they built the entire diorama with Master Chief at the center, like thousands of pieces. And I hope it's still kept somewhere. I don't know if they dismantled it. I wouldn't put it past Microsoft that they just threw it away.
Like me, right?
Yeah,
Well, throwing away a poster is not as bad as this, but I wouldn't put it past them because it was huge. It took up like a whole room. Because part of the Believe campaign was getting like actual World War II veterans to LARP and pretend that they were New Mombasa veterans, and they would be like, I remember when Master Chief climbed the hill, and they would be looking at it, and you could see it like by scale to them. It took up the whole thing, so it felt like you were watching a soldier talking about Normandy, similar to talking about New Mombasa, which is just crazy. It's just crazy, and like I heard no criticism, kind of like what Paul was saying. It was just all hype. It's not like what you see nowadays with Star Wars Outlaws, where we're picking apart everything and it looks like garbage. It was just like we were eating it all up. And just looking at hype and excitement and optimism and positivity at the time, it was just an absolute peak. And that's actually my favorite part of Halo 3, is just everything surrounding it. It's not just the game itself. It's just like the energy, and the industry as a whole at that point was the peak.
And I would actually say that the successful marketing campaign and the success of Halo 3 as a whole is a big, like, you're exactly right. Like if you do something with a cliffhanger, you have to deliver. 100% agree. I would say that cliffhanger, the success of Halo 3, and the intense marketing campaign that led in between is a major part of why Halo, the whole series, is such a cultural driver for so many people. The sheer level of success that this game achieved is such a massive driver for this kind of a thing. Everyone loves it because everyone knows it. People don't want to give up on it. I don't want to give up on it, and I think Halo's dead at this point.
Yeah. What's interesting as well about Halo 2 is that it was not supposed to have that ending. So kind of the stars aligned and everything. So there was several cut levels from Halo 2. I think some footage of them exists. They might even have been made playable, but I'm going off memory here. Like
they cut an entire chapter, right?
Yeah, and so it wasn't supposed to have that ending. It was supposed to have multiple more levels, and it wasn't supposed to have this cliffhanger of finish the fight and everything. But Microsoft was just like, Peter Moore got a tattoo. This game has to come out. I think it's November 9th. 2004, no matter how much is done. So instead they're like, fine, cut, and rather than, adding in those levels and having a buggy experience, they just cut levels, made a more polished experience, and they're like, all right, we're finishing the fight. We have to cut it hard. And yeah, it really caused mixed feelings because people were either pissed off because it's just like, you pretty much got blue balled by a video game, or you were like my feeling, I didn't even care. It was like the best strip tease you ever paid for, because it was like, oh, they're not gonna let us down. I was still hopeful and optimistic at this age. I was like, whatever's coming next is gonna be sheer brilliance. So I was not even upset. I was like, thank you, sir. I'll have another.
One of my greatest moments with my high school buddy Adam. He such a great guy. I wish I still had contact with him, but we played so much Halo 1 and 2, so much like skull hunting on the original Xbox. You have any idea how fucking stupid that is? It's so hard, dude. When you turn it off, you have to find the skulls again. There's no like saves for any of that kind of stuff. It's fucking crazy.
And that's a big part of Halo, and Xbox Live is as well, but Halo is Xbox Live and vice versa. But you mentioned like your friend. I made so many friends through Halo, like internet friends. I met so many people, and I don't even know what those people are doing anymore in some cases. Some I still keep in contact with, but for the most part, a lot of them have just become tears in the rain and gone that way. But I still have memories playing with people online, forming internet friendships and gaming. And it was really Halo on the original Xbox, and then really blowing up with Halo 3 that made you form these internet relationships that were super special. And that was like unprecedented. Of course, it wasn't the first online game, but it was the first really big, heavily marketed console online game. And so it just connected the world. If you had an Xbox and you had Halo, you were playing with people all across the world. And this is really before Call of Duty did it, or it was around the same time that World of Warcraft was doing it. But again, that was a very different community. So
and they did it successfully. Right. When other people had tried to do it, and it was like janky or weird or this or something that was such a big cultural driver that did almost everything successfully that it tried to accomplish, is like, it's just like a 1 in a million. It's like lightning in a bottle. I'm really not surprised 343 couldn't keep up, because Halo was lightning in a bottle. And when Bungie said, we're done, we're not doing this anymore, hey, Microsoft should just let it go. But money.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. No, I've already said what I think they should do. Get away from the story. Keep the gameplay, new story, effectively, new characters and everything. But they won't do it, right? Because all the higher-ups are just like, what do you mean you can't have Master Chief and Cortana and Halo? You gotta shove that in there. And they also have to modernize it at the same time. And it's just like, you don't understand what made this special in the first place. And you never will. So...
Are you guys curious about the Believe campaign and what happened with all the pieces?
Yes,
okay,
I absolutely
so
am.
I did look this up. So apparently right after it was done filming, they actually like broke it apart into pieces, and they distributed it to like a bunch of different people. And then they had 2 campuses in Seattle. I guess like the Microsoft one, and then Bungie had one as well, and they kind of like split some pieces to them. Then 343 also got some, and then after a while, 343 couldn't like carry their stuff to their new studio, so they got rid of all of theirs.
Just got rid of it? Just got rid of it.
They just, I guess, gave it to someone else. They said they were unable to take their diorama pieces into their new building as it was not glued together and could not be safely transported. So it doesn't actually say what happened to it, but that happened in 2016. A lot of it got sold off to people and auctioned off.
Could you imagine how much, if some madman were able to collect all the pieces, like the fucking pieces of Exodia, and recreate that thing? Could you imagine how much that thing would be worth today?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Apparently, during the 15th anniversary Twitch live stream for Halo, the guy that was like head of creative said we need to go on a journey to get them all back, but they never did. It was just like a joke, I guess.
This
you
makes
wanted
me
to.
so mad. A little off topic, but you reminded me the same thing's happening with Power Rangers right now. They're selling off all the Power Rangers, all the suits and all the animatronics and everything they made like since the start, and they're just selling it. And it's just like, why don't you make a museum or something? Like you know, you've made so much money over the years. You could sell tickets, but yeah. So this stuff, like not preserving gaming history or just cultural history, just makes me so freaking livid. So thank you, Kay. I'm mad now.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I was
You answered my
curious.
question. Now I'm mad.
That'll be a nice segue to, I forgot to say what's up to chat. So let's say what's up to chat real quick. Gino came in early saying, swinging by to say, hey, while he wrangles the kids tonight. Awesome. We were a little late. Sorry, we were talking about click hold. You know, very important conversation. Amin Ra, what's up? Saying moo.
Moo to you too.
Elvis, my disappointment is immeasurable. And
No.
my day is ruined.
I am not a Taco Bell taco, sir. I can't ruin it that much.
I've been unsubscribed by Amin Ra and thumbs down. Thank you very much.
Oh no.
Like to stream, nerds.
Like the stream, JB saying aim for the balls. Howdy,
Always.
howdy. Tomby, what's up, Tomby? And oh yeah, Nerdy Neo
Please.
popped in.
He's talking about the show that will not be named, but I'm glad
Oh
it's
yeah,
dead.
that's right. Saying his
Yeah.
first Halo 3 achievement was on September 26th. I was gonna make a September 11th joke, so it'll be like 12 days after Sindawn.
This is like 9/11, except it's good. Getting your first
Ex-
achievement in Halo. There you go.
Exactly. Thank you. Save me from that one.
Yeah, I will
Wait.
take the heat. I will do it for you.
That's right. That's right.
My brain just wanted to do something, but it fried in the middle of the joke. I'm like, I got no joke, and I'm stuttering, so may as well just let people know what else. Anyways,
Don't worry. Yes, I will.
Shadow, what's up, Shadow? And that is catching. Oh yeah, wait. Nerdy Neil also said something good here. Said, sad to realize we'll never see anything like 2007 in gaming again.
And
That is fully.
2007 was the beginning of the end. I will
Yeah.
still say that 2007 was the end of the world as we knew it. I've talked about this so much between smartphones,
Mhm.
Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, 4chan, and the Big Bang Theory. We'll never see a time like before 2007 ever again. All that
Yeah.
on top of
Yep.
a major worldwide financial recession.
I think culturally, I agree with you. Like, I tie a lot of the failures of the modern world to smartphones and everyone having social media. But gaming wise, if I'm only looking at gaming, I feel like 2007 was the peak of gaming. And as like a gamer, at least at that point, first and foremost, and being ignorant to the woes of the world, I was so happy, and everyone I knew was so happy and optimistic. But we were all the right age, so we didn't know what our parents were going through in our nightmare reality or anything. We're just like, we're playing Halo and we're happy. Fuck off,
That's
old
right.
people.
Yeah.
So it's no, I agree with you culturally for sure. But for gaming, it felt like, man, that was our peak. That was our bang for sure. There was just so
Esports is
much.
great though, dude.
Gino makes a point. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Who didn't play drunk Wii bowling? I mean, we had drunk Wii bowling. We had drunk Rock Band. Video gaming just took you all over the place during that era.
At the same time I was playing Halo 3, I had to juggle Burning Crusade, right? So 2007
man.
was absolutely the peak of gaming, and I will fist fight anybody who says otherwise.
Yeah,
It was so good.
WoW Vanilla and Burning Crusade were my jam, and that's the burn that I did through military training after I got the ability to actually get a laptop.
Nice.
I
Oh my
thank
God,
God
that's
that
awesome.
I've never been an MMO guy. No World of Warcraft,
Fair
no
enough.
nothing like that. I mean, like,
Don't start now because you
No.
missed. Similar to Halo, you missed
Yeah,
the
I missed-
glory years.
yeah,
right?
for
So
sure.
there's no
Yeah.
I'm
point.
not gonna bother. But like, I like vicariously, like, seeing all, like, you know, over the years the videos and the stories of all that. Like, it would have been fun. I'm like, thank God I didn't waste my time with that. But at the same time, it would have been pretty cool to have been a part of that. But at the same time, like, yeah, I'm pretty glad I didn't go the MMO route.
And to zone in on Wait's comment here as well, or Wait's comment here as well. It seems like that time period, we had so many great games coming out,
Yes.
or that people were very spoiled for choice. So it could be understood why some people missed out on something like Halo 3. Like I missed out on it because I didn't have an Xbox, but I was playing World of Warcraft, so I was perfectly fine.
Yeah, I
Right.
love what he says here. I rushed through Halo 3 for Burning Crusade, and what's funny is I rushed through BioShock for Halo 3. And so, like, I played
Yeah.
BioShock. It's the only game I ever set on easy intentionally because I'm like, I just want to get through this because BioShock came out in August and Halo 3 came out in September. And I'm like, no. You seem great, but you are not taking over Halo 3 time. So we were so spoiled that year. And Orange Box as well. My God, man.
I associate one of like my best weekends was just playing through the orange Half-Life 2 and the Orange Box and all that, and yeah, Half-Life 2 is like one of my favorite series. Very well done. But yeah, no, such a era in gaming. I wish we could go back. Thank God that like things, I mean, kind of disappear with the whole updating and remastering and delisting, but in most cases, games are still there to be played, and that's why I'm team fuck most new games. I'm sure we all are. And it's like, thank God that old shit's there. It's like, I would go crazy if I didn't have, old games to go back to because, God, they were so good.
Yeah, the rumor now is the next thing for Halo, and it is just a rumor, is a Halo 3 remake. They've remade Halo 1 and 2, and I have very strong opinions on those, but there is a rumor that the next big push is a Halo 3 remake, because it's getting, around the time that it's going to have its anniversary, and it's going to be a multi-platform game. So there's already rumors that Gears of War E-Day is going to be multi-platform because Xbox is trying to, go on more and more on PlayStation, and so that would be pretty crazy. But personally, I'm sure we're going to get into it, but I think Halo 3 is pretty enough. I don't think it needs any changes whatsoever. So I have zero interest in a remaster. If I play it, it is out of sick, morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
I'll probably skip it.
What's up, Snapple? How you
What's up,
doing?
Snapple boy.
Yeah, and he also said, realized Paul Hadukas did the armadillo. Yes, I did do the armadillo theme song for the Sky Scrollers. Thank you for noticing. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Somebody else here. What are they saying? Oh God, no. Company Boys, World of Warcraft.
If you're playing modern WoW, I just got to say good luck. If you've watched the last trailer, my God, that seems like it's literal torture to play modern WoW. I can't imagine.
Am I gonna have to go watch that?
Dude.
I don't have enough alcohol in the house for that.
Look, this is about Halo, not WoW, but at least WoW always had pretty trailers. This is the first time they've done a not pretty cinematic trailer, and it's just like hilarious. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Nerdy Dio does bring a good point. There is still some hope in modern industry, like Elden Ring blew up and all that, and whatchamacallit, From Software still kind of holding it down. And yeah, this game right here, Black Myth Wukong, I'm actually pretty hyped for that one. There's some light in the current day industry, but you're not gonna find it from the good old reliables.
You're not finding it. Yeah, you're not finding it like on this level anymore because Halo was the biggest budget at the time. It was the big, overproduced, explosive in your face everywhere game. Where I think gamers are mostly finding their fun is either like through loyalty to like Nintendo, or they're looking for like what I'm doing, like obscure indie shooters and like obscure indie games here and there.
Chop
and it's
goblins,
like yeah, oh my God. Let's turn this into a Chop Goblin stream. But yeah, the thing about Halo 3 is that it was like so heavily marketed. It was on all your Mountain Dew. It was all in your face. It was everyone was talking about it was, again, like Star Wars. You could turn on the news and there was these old people being like, all the kids are excited for this Halo 3. And it's just like, you've hit cultural peak when old people on the news are confused. And it's just like, yeah, we all know you're the outsider now, sir. We're
It was
on
similar to
that.
Phantom Menace. If I look at, like, because I remember watching the 12-hour coverage for Halo 3, and James and I've been watching a lot of Phantom Menace footage because it's the anniversary this year, and it actually is similar now that you've mentioned that, James. Where, like, everyone was covering it, and it was like people don't even know what a video game is, was like, oh, there's this weird game out that everyone's skipping class for, and people are calling in sick to work, and yeah, it's cool when something transcends that, and I don't think games quite break out the same way anymore, partially because they are more mainstream now, so it doesn't have the same like reach that it used to.
Because now everything's a hype. Anything with the
Yeah.
biggest budget, oh, it's a hype. Suicide Squad was a hype. Fuck off.
Am I weird that whenever I see hype, like immense amounts of budget spent on something, I immediately get really suspicious and hypercritical of
Yes.
something?
Nowadays, yes, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel genuine anymore.
Like, especially after, like, you would think with Bungie's reputation at the time, you would think that Destiny and them spending 500 million on budget on a marketing budget alone, you'd think that it would have been better on launch, but like that was like a $700 million flop.
It was, but Destiny was such a weird, awkward fumble, and I mean that's a good case study on its own because like I was a diehard Halo fan, and at the end of Reach, I was just like, I'm Team Bungie, especially after Halo 4, because if I remember correctly, I think Halo 4 came out before Destiny, right? I'm pretty sure.
Well, and not to get too into depth about talking about Destiny on top of all of this, but
Yeah.
by the end of Destiny 1, right before they announced Destiny 2, it was actually a good game. Like they had done so much work into it to make it better, and then the executives from on high said, "All right, scrap that. We're gonna make 2," and they started the whole process again. And Destiny 2 ended up starting off as trash and then got better over time. The state it's in now is a different story, but it's like corporate. Yeah.
I was excited for Destiny 2, and then before it launched, they started censoring armored pieces because they resembled things going on at the internet at the time. And I'm just like, oh, okay, there's the sign, it's done. Yeah, so they're just like, yeah, we can't have controversy. We have to censor stuff. And so, again, it's just a different time. Do you really think Bungie during Halo 3 would have been upset if someone compared one of the art pieces to something on the internet? They would have been like, no, who cares? It's our game. Screw you. So I was very much Team Destiny, Nerdy Neo, after I played Halo 4, and then I was disappointed again. So, nonstop disappointment. But we're talking about the good days here.
The good
days. It's funny you brought that up because as I'm literally watching, I made a hype playlist for Halo 3 similar to our Phantom Menace playlist, and I'm having that run on my second monitor, and I'm watching people running in excited buying Halo 3. And as you were saying that, I literally was watching two guys in like 100-person line calling in sick to work tomorrow. Just leaving messages already.
So many people. I bet
with
you
a big dumb smile on their face.
There were tons of companies that were like, "Where is everyone?" It probably was not a productive day in any company.
No,
can't imagine.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about the actual improvements from like Halo 2 to Halo 3 because I felt like I like Halo 3, but I do have my criticisms about it. Mainly the campaign and like this last playthrough we just played 3 weeks ago, me and Insidious Dude and Neo, we just played it, and obviously we got the Godmaster Dude 1286 on our team, and he's just plowing through everything. We literally beat the game, and we did the 3-hour achievement because it just like it was so.
Wait,
like,
you beat the game in 3 hours?
Yes,
Yeah.
go watch that stream. It's ridiculous. Dude is a goddamn
Wow.
legend.
yeah,
I
they were
know.
like keeping tally and kill counts and shit. Paul at some point is like, I guess I'm just here along for the ride. Let's
Dude,
go.
I had
that your
both.
first time playing Halo 3?
No,
Okay.
it was the first in a long time though. So
Okay,
I had
okay.
and I actually just before playing Halo 3 with these guys, I like a few years ago was trying to do this whole play. I wanted to do play all of Halo.
Right. Yeah.
And I stopped around. I did 1 and 2, and then I started streaming, doing that. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I should start over again. And that's when me and Dude started. And Halo 1 took multiple streams with Dude, Halo 2 took a lot of streams because on Legendary, Iron Skull's on, so if one of us dies, we have to start there's no respawning, it's just start the checkpoint over. So that one took a lot of streams. We did Halo 3 in less than 3 hours, or 20. Each level was under 20 minutes. So I was
Yeah, that's
kind of
insane.
shocked that that's even possible. Uh, it
Yeah.
felt pretty short in comparison, because like I said, it took 5 streams to do Halo 2. Again, that's because every time I die, we start the level over. But um, like I felt like Halo 1 and 2, because it was, on old, they were trying to make these games seem big. Like I'm thinking of the levels in 1 and 2 that you'd have these big open spaces with battles and all like that. And I don't think Halo 3 had many of those kind of big like super big. They did have unscripted scarab fights, which is very cool, but even those areas seemed pretty contained, and not to like I think cutting that out, actually making not such, because there'd be a lot of just walking. Think of Halo 1 and those big icy areas. If you don't have a vehicle, you're just, dead air, just walking over to, get to that the other side of the mountain over there. And I was at first criticizing, like, yeah, it didn't feel long. You didn't have these big open, massive battles like you do in 1 and 2, and I was kind of like dogging that. But I feel like that's kind of a good thing, because yeah, there was a lot of just walking, when this was just action, action, action. So the campaign, pretty pretty much, like, after multiple consider like thinking it over, because my initial gut feeling, like I said, was like it was kind of short, small close quarter battles, but I think it was good. I think I also was critiquing the story, because I'm like, Halo 1, it throws you into this world. It's like, wow, like, the world's being set up. Halo 2, you start getting the other perspective of the Covenant side. Holy moly, the story's getting crazy, and then yeah, it ends on a cliffhanger. And I thought that the 3, when I actually like go through the story, I was like, okay, cool. Like, not to say like it just didn't have like any oh shit kind of moments, like the flood being exposed in the first one, and the second one playing as, seeing more of the Covenant side. This one was just like like everything was nice, and because it was on a new console, they had to worry more about like limitations, upgrades to the graphics, and all that. And so I feel like the expectation for 3 was just so high that I do remember when it first released, that there was a ton of people dogging it. They hated Halo 3, and I'm
That's so weird
wondering.
because I don't remember anyone ever criticizing it, but I don't know. I was in high school at the time, and everyone was just nonstop gushing about it. But
Right on. No, I remember a lot of people, a lot of Halo 2 lovers who played years and years of Halo 2 online, probably, like, criticized the whole new ability thing. They just, like, there's a lot of stubborn people out there over the years. But that one meme that I remember seeing in your, I think Angry Canadian posted in your Discord, where it's like 2007,
Oh yeah.
Halo 3, and then as the years go by, people start liking they talk shit about 4, but then it's not so bad as it goes by. I do remember that about Halo 3 when it initially released.
yeah,
People.
it's weird. That was I will say, on my end and my end of the internet and my end of things, it was kind of a flawless like for the trilogy, and I never heard any complaints.
I mean,
But
I could think of a couple of minor criticisms and stuff here, like a few things with the plot, a couple of things with the writing. I do think the big oh shit moment when I played it, because I played it as an outsider very recently for the first time. The big thing for me was seeing just how heavy of a price because if you read the books, right, like you have to you think about how big of a price has to be paid in order for any victories to be achieved against the Covenant, against the Flood. Like, it's such a toll on people that it's insane, right? Like, you think about the sheer level of everything that they have to sacrifice in order to get a win, and is it really a win? So in Halo 3, finally getting to see, like, in order to do what they need to do, they have to sacrifice so much. The Commander Keyes, she has to sacrifice herself to save Sergeant Johnson. And in the very end, like anyone that watched my stream live or went back and watched the VOD, when Sergeant Johnson bit the dust, I actually like I was just like up in arms, like no, how you do this? Don't no, like that man was an absolute certified badass. They had so few rights to take him away from us. Like
I really felt like her death was pointless. I remember feeling that when that happened. I'm like, this could have been totally avoided. She didn't need to jump in that quickly and do it. And I get why it created the story tension. But that was supposed to be the first, like, oh shit moment, from my opinion, of playing it for the first time. And it just felt very like, really? Like, this is so avoidable. This is so preventable. You didn't have to kill her off. You could have just, like, staggered this any other way. And she didn't need to sacrifice herself at all. And then you end up getting the same result. And it's, like, sad because she's a cool character and I liked her, and I'm like, oh, it diminishes it a little bit that they killed her off. I don't know. Is
this game the introduction of Keyes? And that's Commander, or that's
no, she's in the second
Miranda
game.
Keyes. No, she was in 2.
Yeah,
she was in 2. Okay,
and her father was one of the main characters in 1. But yeah, for me, the feeling of the story throughout like my first playthrough and like leading into it was really, it felt tense. Like when I first played this for the first time without any spoilers or anything, it's all in the tagline. The tagline is "Finish the fight." This feels like the conclusion, and everything that you're seeing is like the final fight. And so we have all our revelations. We know who stands on what side. It's literally just the final fight, and it's all or nothing. Humanity versus the Covenant versus the Flood. Who's going to win? And the Believe campaign really tied into the story, because what it did is it really, really, really felt like you were getting spoiled that Master Chief is going to die. And so, at least for me, the whole time I'm playing this, I'm feeling tense, excitement, and I'm feeling dread for that first time I'm playing it, because I'm just like, man, there is no fucking way Master Chief is surviving this. There is no fucking way that we're coming out of this alive. We're literally going against 2 global armies, and the game starts off with Earth is technically lost. So technically Earth is in the hands of the Covenant. It says it on the back of the box. So you are already fighting a losing battle, and so it feels like Master Chief is going to have to pull something crazy out of his ass, and he's probably going to die. And he's going to probably die in the process. And they play with that in the story. So there is no big revelation or anything. It's really, we need to save Earth, we need to get the girl, and we need to get out of there and win the day. And to achieve all of that, and when they're really hyping it up as this is the finale, at least for myself back in the day, I was like, oh, this is it. This is the end of Halo, so there is no way Master Chief is surviving. Maybe Arbiter will survive because he's kind of just here for his own spiteful vendetta at this point. He's just like, fuck them brutes. We're going to kill him. But it's like Master Chief is a man on a mission, and it's just like there is no way. And I was expecting it, and I was anticipating it, and I wasn't even going to be mad when Master Chief dies, because it felt like it was going to be poetic and intentional. Now, there was something I did want to address with Paul saying it felt like super short or quick. It is a shorter campaign, but I think this game and a lot of these games, and I've had this conversation with Elvis a lot before, how you experience them really depends on how you play them, and that's kind of the beauty of gaming. It's not like a movie where you can only watch it one way. So if you're playing Halo 3 Legendary with 4 players, you're really just trying to fucking push through, and you're trying to get through, and you're trying to beat it because it's hard as fuck. And so it's just like, go, 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 and just kind of shoving your fists against a brick wall to just get to that checkpoint, And so because I had the duty of having Kay play my favorite game of all time for the first time recently, it's like, we could have done that, but I wouldn't have thought that would be a fun first experience. So I wanted to give you something more akin to what I would want. And so I was like, here's how we play. Every time we play a co-op game, that's something I love. It's like, I could lead and I could fucking headshot everything, and then she's just walking along collecting ammo. But I always am like, I don't shoot first. You're leading, and I'm just staying silent. And so the progression and the flow of the story is on a first timer. And once combat hits, then I'm just like, all right, weapons are hot, and then everyone's dead. I'm like, okay, now proceed. And that's kind of just how I handle it. So I wouldn't recommend. I'm glad it wasn't your first time, Paul, because I would never say the. It's like, do not. It would feel like it's ruining the story if you are just like, all right, legendary 4-player, go. Why aren't you running? Just go faster. Shoot them. Like, it feels like that is like taking away from the experience of the story and the atmosphere aspect of Halo. Not necessarily the fun, because part of the fun is doing that 4-player session in Legendary. So that is fun to do.
It was peak fun. Minimal experience and experience of like the game itself. But no, I totally agree that like I was gonna pull up something that Insidious here said. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the rocket launcher says hello.
Oh God.
But Insidious is like, there was definitely pushback on the story, and like you were saying, the story is more of a tying the bow off. It wasn't supposed to be all this crazy twists and all that kind of stuff. And I do agree in hindsight, because we were so spoiled with with 1 and 2 of all like, whoa, twist here, oh my god, this and that and whatever. It took you such a roller coaster ride that this was just like the perfect like landing of the plane, and I feel that. But the gameplay, I think everybody like always loved the gameplay. Like I have no gripes with the gameplay at all of the game. For me, it was more just the criticism, that like I said, I got into Halo pretty late. 1 and 2 were just such a roller coaster ride of like levels and all that stuff, and although they introduced more vehicles in this one, more different weapons, enemy types, all that, which I guess we could get into, but that I don't know, from 1 to 2 I felt was like such a huge leap, and then I felt from this one to 3 just wasn't as big of a leap, but it was more refined, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
It was very polished. I was just thinking about it, and I think I'm actually very guilty of loving this style of storytelling as well, because for me, the way Halo 3 tells its story is very similar to how Revenge of the Sith tells the story. Oh, hi, cover. It's how Revenge of the Sith tells the story, and it's also like, I'm not a big Harry Potter guy. I watched them for the first time recently, but it's also kind of how the Deathly Hallows movies tell their story, and that's my favorite of all those fucking Harry Potter movies, in that it's we have explained everything. You got the picture. We don't have to go into origin stories. We don't have to spend any time explaining these characters. That was all done in the previous chapters. Now shit is hitting the fan, and it's the finale.
A flashback within a flashback within a third.
I would be very curious to know what the pushback is on the story, because it's weird. I never heard any of it. I actually I heard a lot of pushback on Halo 2's story, and Halo 2's story, it was the cliffhanger. And I also heard a lot of pushback that there was people that liked Arbiter's story more than Chief's, but they were just saying a lot of people preferred the Arbiter arc over the Chief arc. And also Halo 2 came out at the same time of Half-Life, Half-Life 2, and they were constantly compared, and critics at the time were almost unanimous in saying, because you have to compare the two shooters, right? And so critics were all like, Half-Life wins over Halo 2. But that all sounds
very I remember that.
I can give you a devil's advocate type argument. It's not even necessarily how I feel, but just like as somebody going into it again for the first time, if you don't know that the stakes are high in this game, the game in the beginning half doesn't really convey that to you. So I can see that being a partial complaint, is like the marketing campaigns probably did an excellent job at the time of making that clear to everyone in the line picking up that game day one. Going into that game so many years later, for me, playing the first few levels didn't really feel like the stakes were high. And they had the same task that like Mass Effect had to go through. It's like you have a trilogy, you have to tie the bow really well. And so they ran into a similar thing where it's like at the last yard lines, it felt like they were really trying to tie the bow. And the first half of the game is you almost feel more casual. You don't really feel like there's a lot on the line.
Can I push back on your devil's
Oh,
advocate?
absolutely. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, that's
The
it
very-
really feels like the story pushes you more aggressively the deeper you get into it. But the first at least 2 levels, you really don't feel it.
The very opening of the game, Master Chief dies. And when that happened, I was devastated in my first playthrough because I thought for those about 30 seconds that he's dead, I thought he was dead. Because we had the Believe campaign and everything leading into it, I was just like, they did it. I remember feeling like, oh my God, they did it. Now the campaign is going to be our arbiter. And like, we're going to have to scrounge everything up together without Master Chief. And then all of a sudden he gets up and he's just like, oh, I'm not done yet, or whatever he says. And it's like, yes, okay. But it's like, to me, that immediately sets the stakes. And that's the opening cutscene, is like he opened up dying. He pulled a Mass
Super
Effect
quick,
2.
though. It was super
It was.
quick.
It was super
very-
quick.
Mass Effect
Yeah.
does a better job of that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Why do
Then,
you always gotta
Halo
jump?
Yeah, why do you always gotta jump? Shout
But
out,
yeah,
fool.
you're right about that part.
shout out to Shane Bentley for
Shane.
the 10. He's saying, I'm late to the
Hell
stream,
yeah, buddy.
but I must ask, what's everyone's favorite Halo game and why is it Reach? Hashtag oatmeal cookies are lame.
That's
Wow,
Yes,
it's
that's right. I
over
agree.
here now.
Wait, no. First off, that's a funny way of saying Halo 2, and I actually had a really good oatmeal cookie today. I posted a
I
picture
saw
of
it.
it today.
Well,
Dude,
he means the oatmeal raisin cookie.
Oh, yeah,
He's
no,
just
those could go-
shortening
those
it.
could go-
The oatmeal I'm not bringing this debate into Halo 3. Halo 3 is too great of a game.
Thank you. And that
Thank
is
you.
But
fine.
I know what
Shane.
he's referring to specifically.
shout out Shane, yes. No,
But I agree, Shane.
all cookies
That Reach
matter.
is your favorite? Oh, yeah.
All cookies matter. Someone likes it. Someone likes it.
I do. I have no gripes against. If you put a pickle on it, then we have war. No,
Pickle
but yeah.
Who's
cookies,
eating a
eh?
pickle in a cookie? This is crazy.
You know what?
Salty cookie.
I've heard crazier things. Okay. Yes.
This is insane. This is like people were like getting mad at me and being like, "You like grapes, so why don't you like raisins?" I'm like, well, I'm not putting grapes in my cookie.
Oh, I like grapes and I like raisins. There's no problem. Snapple says if I said Halo Wars, would I be exited? I actually quite liked Halo Wars, and like I think someone mentioned on a stream recently that they finally did RTS well on a console. Like I thought that was like the first decently made. Yeah.
I liked Halo Wars gameplay wise. I thought the story was terrible personally. And it's hard to talk about without spoiling it, but pretty much it's a prequel. It takes place before Reach, and somehow the Flood's involved, and I'm like, what? Now you have to kill it. Now you have to kill everybody.
Oh, look
And
at
they
that.
don't kill everybody. So it's like, what? It's just... But I thought the gameplay was pretty solid, and I like the visuals of the first one. The second one bored me, but Halo Wars
Fucking
1...
retcons.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yes.
Because I don't fully understand Insidious's comment. He says also they fucked up the humans were the Forerunners storyline. So because I'm really new to the story, I don't really quite get like what was the whole...
I don't even know that. Is that something in the books? Forerunner.
It's really fucking complicated. It gets into some of the extended lore, other stuff
Okay.
like that. It's outside of the realm of 1 through 3 entirely.
Okay.
It gets into real deep bullshit information, but it was basically like the Forerunners were the creators of so much stuff, not just like Halo and this, but other stuff. But the humans are believed to be some like really deep, distant descendants.
Aliens?
No, the humans are believed to be like deep, distant descendants of the Forerunners in a way.
If they fuck that up, I actually appreciate that they fucked that up, because that sounds like my most hated episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. So I am happy if they retcon that. Again, as a George Lucas simp, I'm very much of the, whatever is the leading medium takes precedence. And so for me, Halo is a video game, Star Wars is movie. And so it's just like, if you're gonna retcon shit like from the books or the encyclopedias or whatever that was written by someone on the outside, I'm fine with that. I'm also somebody that gets like checked out when the original creator is not involved. like George Lucas with Star Wars or like Gene Roddenberry with Star Trek. It's just like, it's all fan fiction now. But yeah, I'm not even sure about that. But in terms of Halo, I've never been big into the books or anything. I liked the comics. But yeah, I have this weird thing in my brain where I treat everything outside of the like priority medium as like almost like it could be true kind of thing, but until someone changes their mind in the sequel kind of thing. It's in the game. I don't even.
Insidious is saying the humans were supposed to be the Forerunners as written in the first 3 games. Wait, well,
I don't remember it.
And he also said here earlier, Bliss was saying, I don't want to shit on the game too much because what they accomplished with the story is an achievement, but clearly had problems where they would change the story to fit whatever the gameplay needs. And I think he's referring to the whole humans were supposed to be Forerunners.
I'll have to look into it because I don't remember. I'm now like fast forwarding in my brain through Halo 1 and 2 because I've played them both so many times, and I'm like, I'm seeing the scan lines, and I'm like, where does that happen? So
yeah, that one confuses me too. The only thing I can think of is in the book, in the Flood, there are moments where when John 117 first comes into Halo, starts seeing Forerunner technology, he starts seeing like data panels and the holo panels and stuff, and he just instinctively knows like, oh wait, this is a button. I could touch this. I can interact with these panels and this data. He just knows how to do it.
So why would he be able to? Right, yeah.
So like it's just kind of like the clues are there, but it's not really well described. I couldn't tell you from my experience with 1 and 2. 3, I'm a little less experienced, but
is it because 343 recognize as in the fucking, the droid or whatever, the robot, not the company? Is it because he I hate it so much, but is it because he recognizes Chief as like the reclaimer, and so because he's human, he would recognize that maybe? I always took the Forerunner shit as like kind of intentionally ominous and vague, and it's supposed to be that way. It's kind of like how the Reapers were. I don't feel like the game
explains really what Forerunners are, but my understanding is like by a thread of the story.
Yeah.
So.
You get enough to understand that they were there. They tried to protect the. They were there to protect the galaxy from the Flood. They fought a war. They couldn't stop it, so they utilized the rings as their last resort weapon. They tested it millions of times and virtual simulations, and they fired it once. There you go.
Yeah,
that's really the biggest part of it. Like there's so few clues in the game outside of what's directly told that I agree with you. It's probably just there to be vague on purpose, which I love.
Yeah, I like that style of alien storytelling. Okay, it's literally the Protheans before Mass Effect 3, which I again.
But I think the Protheans
this isn't Mass Effect 3.
You can understand that easier.
Well, but they were still the ominous, like past, like they did all this like super high tech stuff, even though they're all extinct now. What the fuck is that? Alien race, and so yeah, the Forerunners and the Protheans, I always thought were pretty comparable.
Yeah.
They also,
I didn't get that. I didn't. Yeah, I too didn't. I didn't see that in the story as well. I thought that they were just some, I even forget because in my head when I think Halo, I'm like, yeah, it's the humans versus the Covenant versus the Flood. Oh yeah, there's Forerunners too. I totally, I totally forget about the Forerunners altogether. So.
Which I think is great because like the Forerunners aren't there anymore. You get all you get all this stuff, all these hints that they were there. The technology, all of the Covenant technology is essentially a stolen or adopted Forerunner technology. That's all that they use.
Nerdy Neo says, or the ancients from Stargate.
Yeah,
Gabs is next to me. The Gabs is next to me right now. She's like, I was just thinking the same thing.
Oh, bring her on. But yeah, no, it's a very like, tired way of telling story in sci-fi, but it works. The reason that we keep seeing this come back in sci-fi storytelling is that, it's really effective and it works. Oh, the mystical ancient aliens that have left all this stuff for us, and now we can use it. But what can we learn from them? What are they warning us of?
So do you think that they were trying to do that and then they just they ditched that storyline mid game or mid Halo 3?
Well,
Is this
no,
where they-
to me there was no issue, but yeah, based on what Bliss is saying in the chat, I guess there was at some point potentially a retcon where it's alluded to that the Forerunners were ancient humans. And again, I'm trying to remember this. There's this one episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where you pretty much learn that there is an ancient alien race that just dropped DNA across the galaxy, and so all the aliens are just related to this one alien being. And I'm like, that's the stupidest fucking shit I ever heard. I hate that so much, and I'm just gonna pretend I didn't watch that episode. So it sounds like it's almost similar. So the Forerunners were originally humans, and then I guess Halo 3 retcons that. I'm trying to figure out how it retcons it. Oh, because I think you can see through the terminals and shit the Forerunners, and they clearly don't look human, but I think they look like human-esque. Or so you could even say maybe it's of evolution over time.
Yeah, I was
I don't
gonna say,
know.
couldn't you make the evolution argument that humans looked very different compared?
Yeah,
to
because
now?
even in that
Just
Star
like we
Trek
have
episode,
pinkies now and stuff and whatever.
in that Star Trek episode, they don't look human exactly. They look human-esque. But the whole point is, it's their way of explaining why all the races look kind of similar. Why Vulcans are just humans with pointy ears. It's like, because you all just were your great-great-grandpappy. That's
Right.
why. And it's just like, please stop. And so, I guess
You know what?
Yeah.
I would just guess that they through maybe 1 and 2 they're like, all right, like leading up to that's where they were going, and then by 3 they're like, you know what, this is such a, like, it's almost a trope now for sci-fi shows. It's like they've done it the Stargate, they've done it in Star Trek, like maybe let's abandon this idea and just run with something else. So I could see that happening. That's just a wild guess.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting
go
with
ahead.
video games because, if you go on a film or you go on a TV, not even a TV show, that's a bad example, but usually with film, there's like 1 or 2 or 3 creative heads or something. But when you involve video games, especially something as big as Halo 3, there is a lot of people wanting to get their mitts into it. And we saw this a lot with Mass Effect. And so Drew Kapir, I always say his name wrong, and Nerdy Neo's going to get mad at me in the chat. Drew Kapirshin, whatever. He was supposed to write Mass Effect 3, and obviously he did not. And so he revealed the plot of what Mass Effect 3 was going to be. And he even prefaced it, though, with his write-up. He's just like, look, this is what my plan was, but this is no way what it was going to be, because that's not how game development works. So this was my original plan, but once it goes through the filter of this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy, it's going to be unrecognizable. So this isn't even a valid statement on what Mass Effect 3's story was going to be. And so, yeah, that's one of the problems with video game writing, at least at a AAA big budget, Microsoft, EA kind of level, is that you're not dealing with one creative head. You're dealing with dozens and dozens of creative heads that all want their story told. So it's a miracle we get anything that makes sense.
That's true.
You're right. And I mean, sadly these days you have to have you've always had to have it a strong leader, or like either a studio head or a corporate head that wants to champion something. And if you don't get that, or if you get someone that doesn't like what's going on, they will absolutely kill it. Like what happened with Megas XLR is a big thing, because that show was so wildly popular, but one of the guys at corporate didn't like it. So he actively had that show killed by forcing it into a time slot that didn't work.
So I'm down a rabbit hole right now. Apparently this whole thing, because I found a thread of someone being like, wait, Halo 3 is my favorite game ever. It got a retcon. And this whole Forerunner retcon thing was potentially Microsoft's decision to put like a little drop of what Halo 4 would be. And of course, if you beat the game on Legendary, you get the little okay, you didn't see this, but it doesn't matter because fuck Halo 4. But if you play the game on Legendary, you get a little teaser of what the next game is going to be, which is pretty impressive given that they had to do ODST and Reach before handing things over to Microsoft and finally doing Halo 4. So it was years away, but in Halo 3, you do get a little teaser if you play on Legendary to be like, here's the next planet that Master Chief is heading to. And from what I'm seeing, I'm learning this in real time, that Forerunner retcon was because the Halo 4 story so heavily involves Forerunners and all that stuff. It's a very Forerunner story. I hate that story. It's Michael Bay Star Wars, Michael Bay Halo to me. But yeah, that's what I'm reading, is they literally added that little tidbit because they wanted the Forerunners, of course, in Halo 4 to pretty much be the big bad guy and all that stuff. So they couldn't just be human. You had to fuck shit up for Halo 4 in the future.
That is hilarious. Well,
I'm learning about it in real time. This isn't. Thank you, Bliss, for the tidbits.
That's fascinating. And again, corporate meddling. Imagine that.
Exactly.
Microsoft wants to.
Microsoft's like, since you're ending it, we still have to do shit. So put this in. Put this in at the end. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think that's kind of maybe what I'm feeling from Halo 3 that I don't feel in Halo 1 and 2. Like, I feel like there was already, because it was so hyped, because, Halo 1 was like, oh yeah, and then 2 came out, and it became these big behemoth phenomenons that nobody expected. So Halo 3 is like, all right, this is our IP. Microsoft's like, we're gonna take control. And I feel like, not that this game itself was great, but like that peak, that was the peak, and then it just everything started going kind of downhill from there. Although like ODST and Reach, they kind of kept it up there for a little bit long before 4, and then it just starts dropping off. But yeah, no, I feel like the up of 1 and 2 just excited me more than the kind of like peak of 3, ODST and Reach. It just was more excited. It felt like there was more passion in those games, where like Too Many Cooks, you could kind of start seeing the beginnings of Too Many Cooks with the and then eventually the death of Bungie, or the death of the Halo and Bungie relationship and handing them over. But yeah,
every game was kind of a lightning in a bottle, because Halo 1 wasn't even going to be a shooter. It was going to be like an RTS that was like Apple exclusive or whatever, and you can look up footage on it and it looks radically different. And then suddenly it gets turned into a FPS launch title that blew up. Yo, DJ.
Sorry.
Hey, what up?
No. Well, Paul, this is what happens when you bring me on to talk about my favorite game of all time.
Let's go.
And then Halo 2, right? Halo 2, like I mentioned, it was under super tense pressure, because now it's just like, you're a huge hit and you're the face of Xbox, so you have to make the game on this day or else. Right. And then Halo 3, it's just like, everyone got a 360 for Halo 3. And it's been almost 3 years. You need to make like the best game ever. And so it was just constant pressure. I don't really know the story too much of ODST, but I'd feel like maybe that's the one where the pressure was a little bit, because ODST is such a different story. It's such a relaxed story, and it's so dialed back that if anything feels like they don't have like whip cracking pressure, it's that game. And they put jazz in it. It feels like an art game. It's like an art ho game.
We just played ODST on Sunday, also beat it in 3 hours. But I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, no,
I still gotta play ODST. I'll play that one here. I'll probably play that fairly soon.
But it was
if you don't set the expectations to like ball busters, balls to the wall, everything's exploding, and you're in for like, if you like get some whiskey, as you do, Imp, and you like smoke a cigar, you'll have a great time. It's a weirdly laid back game.
Sergeant Johnson there.
Yeah.
I was Marines. Where's my stick? Where's my rock?
It was definitely, it's like they put a skin over Halo. Halo is the sci-fi, crazy story, and this one just felt like like a skin of like more realism, noir, like you said before, jazz music. I do like the visor, the night vision visor,
the
and all
overlay,
that. The guns, I really enjoyed, like the pistol and the silenced SMG. Like, there's like one of my favorite games in all of Halo. ODST was, I honestly, I don't want to say I like it better than Halo 3, because 3 has like the multiplayer and all that other stuff with it. But as far as like purely campaigns, I feel like I think I liked the ODST campaign a little more than the Halo 3 campaign.
ODST really feels like the art people on Bungie were finally allowed to make the game they wanted to make, instead
That's
of
what it is.
living up to pressure or expectations.
Exactly.
It's very much a side story where there is no stakes, so they can play. They can play and be creative and do whatever they want. And as a fan at the time, going from pure hype, balls to the wall insanity of Halo 3, I was initially disappointed and hated it, and it wasn't until years later, after 343, after I played it again after Halo 5, and I'm just like, oh, this is good. And I know everything after Halo 5 seems good, but it is good. It's just like, it's really what I want for the future of Halo, where it's like, it plays like Halo, but all the theming and stories and characters and everything are just radically different. I also call it Firefly Halo, because it's literally the cast of Firefly. Nathan Fillion, Adam Baldwin, and Alan Tudyk are all main characters, and they reference Firefly throughout the game constantly.
That's hilarious.
So it's like,
that sounds great.
if you like Firefly, it's literally
Firefly.
like, it's Serenity 2. It's what you're playing. So.
Also, what's her face? If anybody watches Battlestar Galactica, Starbuck is the female love interest of Nathan Fillion. The Oni chick, I think.
Oh
she was.
yeah.
I was like, is that Starbuck? And what's his face? Nathan Fillion's character's name is Buck in that. I'm like, we got Buck and Starbuck. What the hell's going on? No, yeah, ODST was because I think the expectations were low for that game. It was a nice surprise for me. Even back then, I remember, like, I liked it back then. I don't think I had any.
Microsoft is like, make more Halo, and Bungie's like, the story's done. Do you want an art ho game? Like, we'll do an art ho game. The story is done. There's nothing else to tell.
Yeah, I think I appreciated, like you said, it's like the company was relaxed and be able to. It was their passion project, and like, I don't know, when a studio has more passion into it, I stupidly can somehow feel that in my loins. And I enjoyed that. But this isn't a talk about ODST, although it is on the same engine.
You just call it because it was supposed to be an expansion. Originally, it was not gonna, but it kept getting bigger, and then they made it a standalone. But really, it was supposed to be DLC. It was all just supposed to be a DLC campaign. So it kind of counts as Halo 3. It says Halo 3 ODST, I think, on the cover still. So you're technically still talking about Halo 3.
But it takes place during Halo 2, so
does
it's
it?
all
I thought it took place. Does it? I thought it took place during Halo 3. Hold on.
Apparently, it takes place during Halo 2. Right after Halo 2, I think. Yeah. But
that makes sense because
you're on Earth.
Yeah. You're on Earth in Halo 3 as well. But no, it's you're right.
But it's funny because as we started playing Halo ODST, we're like, they should have just called this Halo ODST. Leave the 3 out, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of a way to sell it, and it's still. And the thing is, what I do enjoy about it is it plays exactly like Halo 3, because it's all in Halo 3, in engine Halo 3.
Yes.
Like Reach is a different game. You know, Reach has loadouts, it has sprint, it plays different, but ODST is literally Halo 3. It's just a different story and different characters, which I can appreciate, and that's kind of what I want them to do in the future.
Right on. Shane Bentley here saying, I'm going to make James mad, but I can understand where you're coming from, Paul. When I played Reach, I thought that the campaign for 3 was a little flat.
That's okay. I'm the opposite. That's fine.
I think I do agree with some points with Kay on, like, as an outsider looking in, is like, there's some things they definitely could have done a little better. I feel like parts of the story felt a little weird, but like my big takeaway was it was still really fantastic.
Yes.
I felt like it was a very concise way of finishing up the story, and very, like, especially like the second half with everything that's going on, them discovering the big reveal that, oh well, we found our way to the Ark, and the Ark is constructing a new ring to fix the old one. Oh wait, Cortana's got the activation index for the first one. Let's just go activate. Like, okay, holy shit. It just works.
It just works. But no, overall, clearly, because I feel like the spoiledness, we got so spoiled with 1 and 2 because expectations were low for this, and when your expectations go through the or when it exceeds your expectations, you're like, whoa, oh my god, you get that rush of like, holy shit. And then same with 2, like, oh, I expect this, and it's fucking like, holy shit, dual wielding, fucking all Halo, or Xbox Live, you know, that was kind of the big selling point for 2. If it wasn't for Xbox Live, I don't think 2 would have been as huge as it was. But
100%.
Halo 2 is the multiplayer game. That's
exactly
where Halo 2
so,
yeah, 100%. It was a multiplayer game first, but the story was so good, and the cinematics for the game and the framing were so fantastic. It was a complete package.
I always say Halo 1 is the story, Halo 2 is the multiplayer, Halo 3 is the marriage of all of that in a perfect
in a
blender.
nutshell. Yes, it is the orange box of Halo 1 and 2.
It is.
But I appreciate that for it being that, because like again, like I think people got too spoiled with how through the roof how their expectations were exceeded with 1 and 2, and again 2 being helped with Xbox Live and all that. There just wasn't that jump that would have pushed Halo. Like they tried to do Forge mode, which is fun, which was fantastic.
Forge was crazy.
It still is.
Still is great.
I think the leap, though, it's hard in hindsight, but the leap from Halo 1 to Halo 2 is Xbox Live. The leap from Halo 2 to Halo 3 is the 360. And so Halo was stuck on the original Xbox, before. And so now it's just like, what does next-gen Halo look like? And what I find so impressive about Halo 3 is it still plays like Halo. Everything feels the same. But like visually, at least at the time, it was super gorgeous. Everything was new. Everything was shiny and glimmery. We, of course, had everything that comes with the 360 at the time. We had achievements. We had a better Xbox Live system. So this is like, oh, this is next-gen Halo. That was kind of the leap I got. Is like, and this is also a time when console generations, actually, you could feel the leap. Now you don't anymore.
Yes.
But to me, like Halo 2, if we're talking about like on a visual side, to go to Halo 3, it's an insane leap. I don't know when the last time you guys played like Halo 2, the standard edition, not the anniversary edition that I hate. But like just the visual jump of Halo 2 to Halo 3 is insane, and that it starts with that opening level in the lush green forests and everything, and the lighting of that, because Halo 2 is a very dark game, especially those Arbiter levels. They all take place in the dark against the flood and all that, so it's hard to see fucking anything in that game most of the time. So
Halo 2
it was a
felt
huge
a lot more
contrast.
Chilling. I feel like Halo 2
it's a
was
scarier
a lot more
game.
spooky, and then Halo 3, I love the bright environments, and I think like all the levels look gorgeous, but you go through those levels and you're like, this doesn't have the same energy that Halo 2 had. I still like Halo 3 more, but it's Halo 2 is very haunting. And Halo 3 is very like you're an on rails, like get to the end of the story type game.
I could see that.
Yeah, there's an interesting comparison there, comparing it to other shooters. The Fear series. Fear 1 and 2,
Love 'em.
very dark, very gritty. Especially Fear 2, you start seeing a lot more like a lot of horror elements and stuff. Fear 3 tried a different path with it, and it felt like it was way more intense and a race against the clock, but a lot of the horror elements seemed like they had started to go by the wayside.
Yeah, definitely. I love the Fear trilogy so much.
It had a different energy about it. That doesn't necessarily mean it was bad, but it was very much like it was not as much with the chilling like revelations and the psychological horror, but you had this race against the clock. You had to complete this objective or everything was fucked. And that's very much like a very similar thing. I agree with that entirely. Like 3 didn't feel like it had as much chilling revelation and as much like intensity in the horror mindfuck department. 2 had that in droves.
I think what they try to replace that with is the get the girl moments with Cortana. If I have one complaint about Halo 3, and it's not really a complaint, it's that I miss Cortana throughout it, but at the end of Halo 2, she's captured by the Flood. So you're used to having her speak to you throughout the campaign, and she's kind of the voice, because Master Chief is a silent protagonist type character. And so I find it like Halo 3, you're really just talking to your military bros, and you don't have your like feminine companion the whole time, kind of being that like that warm character. But I love it when you finally get her back and you hear her in your head for the first time again. It's just like, oh my god, that's what was missing. And it's just like, she's back, she's finally, and she's only there for like the final mission, which is crazy. But it's, I think that's what they kind of replace that feeling with, is you don't know if you're going to get Cortana back. She might be lost forever. And there's people like in the military that are pretty much telling Chief, like, look, bro, she's gone. We got bigger fish to fry, kind of thing. And he's just like, no, I'm not giving up on her. And so that, it's if I was to say I didn't like any level in Halo 3, it's the level where you get her, but it almost feels intentionally bullshit because it's just the flood throwing
into the
everything.
butthole.
Yeah, the asshole level is a fucking asshole.
It's the library of Halo 3. Prove
It is. That's
like,
a good way to put it, man. That's so good.
Also, me inside your head now. Yeah.
Me inside your head now. Well,
yeah, I agree. I will say one of my biggest complaints with 3, and I really think this is a nitpick more than anything. Every single bullshit time that they change your field of view, dim your camera, and make it like shake or flash with pictures of like distorted pictures of Cortana. Absolute bullshit. I can't stand it.
I was going to bring that up too.
That's the art hose in Bungie getting through before ODST, though.
I love that.
I don't mind it
where
from
it slowed you. It slowed you down and Cortana's in your face. Yeah, no, I hated that.
Great. I thought, especially just like not understanding the story too much at that point. It's like, whoa, what's happening? Like, why is that happening? I like that it slowed me down and made me think about the story.
Dude brought it. Dude said this in our playthrough a couple weeks ago. He's like, it's cool the first time. The next, the people who achievement hunt and try to speed through it, they're the ones that are like, God, shut the fuck up, bitch. Let me keep going.
It's there for the story.
For it, for like people that play Legendary or something, just be like,
it should have been just.
It should be a trigger. Oh, you beat the game already? Okay, we can skip this shit.
Yeah.
Or do it a less invasive. Don't slow you down. Don't take up the whole thing. Like maybe just like a less, a more see-through version and same speed. Keep it like that. People wouldn't complain. It'd still tell the story and let you keep going.
Especially when you're doing High Charity for the 18th time in the series, and it's literally like Cortana and Gravemind in your head having a fucking bitch fight.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, stop. Like, yeah, it's great. It's fun and aesthetic and interesting the first time, but I think it adds to the ambiance.
Personally, I think it adds to it.
Yeah, I defend it on this because to me, Halo, like we can get into the multiplayer because that's where the gameplay shines. But like for me in the story, it's like, okay, the story takes precedent, the atmosphere takes precedence, so I'm fine with it. But I do think, sure, they could have had a toggle of like, you've already seen this bullshit, skip. And I swear there's another game that's done that, and it's like on the tip of my tongue, but where it adds in in-game cutscenes. Because what it's trying to do is it's trying to tell you the story without going to a cutscene. Because they could have told that through a cutscene, but it's trying to give you like a visceral impact to be like, this Gravemind is so powerful and he's such an overwhelming being. It's like Mother Brain. It's Halo's Mother Brain, that it's literally like reaching out to you somehow through like the annals of space, and so it's able to fucking just warp annals of, and there is anal, and so it's able to warp reality. It's able to like shutter you and slow you down and all that stuff, and so it's trying to give you a feeling of like, that's how fucking powerful this thing is that you now have to take down who has your woman. I have played this game through like 5 times, and so yeah, I have done it on Legendary and all that, and it's just like when you're doing that, it's like, oh my god, please stop. So on a gameplay standpoint, purely on gameplay, it is annoying. But for me, it's like Halo 3 is the story, so I'm totally fine with it existing in that context.
Shout out to Patience. How you doing? Saying Gravemind analing your mind. That's right.
Boy.
That's right.
And in Duke Nukem Forever, they reference the asshole doors, and it had. But Duke, when he goes to him, he goes coochie coochie coo, and you have to tickle them to open them. I just want to put that out there.
That's nasty.
Have a good one, Shane. Saying,
See you, man.
all right, gents.
Have a good one, dude.
Have a great night. Gonna go call it. All right, bud. Have a good one. Also, I saw earlier, Jerry popping in saying, I had a shit TV and ODST was darker than Jim Jam's humor. So fuck ODST. is not Halo 3.
That's pretty dark there. All
That's
right.
pretty fucking dark, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
I
good.
love that. Hey, Jerry. Jerry's the best. Oh my god.
Love you, Jerry.
Oh god, that's great.
Let's try to keep up or catch up with chat. Oh yeah, I do remember ODST did have a multiplayer. Like you could play Halo multiplayer. It had an extra
Firefight.
disc. Oh, I had Firefight. Right.
Yeah,
was
and
the
I
second
wasn't
disc.
super into ODST, but it may have had additional multiplayer maps because it was an expansion. It was an on-disc expansion for Halo 3, but it was also a standalone game. It was like a weird puberty game. It was in between.
It was.
But yeah, so if you count ODST as Halo 3, like Halo 3 is a 20 out of 10 game. You have 2 campaigns, you have PvP multiplayer, and you have Firefight multiplayer. Like, you have a perfect game, in my opinion, with all of that.
If you add ODST, then yes, 2 campaigns for the price of 1, yes sir. Let's see. DJ was saying there's a reason why the visuals in Halo 2 look so bad. The game isn't using the stencil shadows that it was intended for. Interesting.
Yeah, I have heard that, and also apparently, I need to look more into this, DJ. But apparently, Halo 2 like objectively looks worse than Halo 1, which is crazy. And I guess that's what he's saying there because of that stencil shadowing. But I think there's other factors in it. Again, they were rushing it out the fucking door, and so it's pretty crazy that Halo 1 2001 looks better than Halo 2. But hey, that fucking Xbox Live multiplayer just saved the day, man. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh right. He says Halo. The separate disc was Halo 3 multiplayer. I do remember that. ODST having Firefight and campaign in one disc, and then just the Halo 3 multiplayer. That was awesome. Hell yeah. What was I gonna get into next? I guess let's talk about the multiplayer. What the upgrade from 2 to 3. I did love 2 a lot. I played a lot of 2. Like again, late. I didn't play for it for too long, but I did think that Halo 3's multiplayer was like perfectly fine-tuned. I thought that the maps were just very well, like it was peak multiplayer gaming, and it was a shock that like, I mean, again, we're so spoiled. Halo 3 came out, and then like a few years later you got Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which is like the first time I ever heard people leaving Halo. Like, I'm gonna go play something else. So this was like, holy, like the peak of it. And again, just to reference the era in gaming that, shooters were at its best. But no, this was like the shooter to play online. The abilities that they added was just made the whole game interesting. Throwing shields, throwing the gravity jumps and all that, like and then the maps I'm pretty sure that they redid a couple of old maps, old favorites, and brought them into that, which is always good. But man, what a like perfect multiplayer game. I will give 10 out of 10.
to me, it's still the shooter to play online. It still is so tight, so responsive, and it's never been topped for me. And you mentioned Modern Warfare and memories much earlier, but like that was my memory, was when Modern Warfare 1 came out. We had effectively a Civil War split in our school, and everyone was just like, this is so much better than Halo. And of course I got it because I was the Xbox kid. And I was like, I think Modern Warfare sucks. And I was just like, you have sprinting nonstop. You have instant respawns. Everyone's running around with Marty Dumb, insta killing everywhere, noob tubing everyone. And I'm like, fuck you.
That's a phrase I haven't heard in fucking age, dude.
I have never grown up, Imp.
I forgot about Martyrdom. Oh my god.
Marty Dumb, yeah. I always called Call of Duty Modern Warfare first-person Bomberman, because that's what it felt like to me. And so I went back. I was like, screw you guys. I'm going back to Halo. And I played Halo 3. Yeah, exactly. And while Imp was prepping for today's stream playing the single player, I was playing the multiplayer. And it just has something for everybody. I would love them to just go balls to the wall and add like a payload mode, like out of Overwatch or TF2 into the game. And then I would never not play Halo 3. That's like the only thing it's missing at this point.
I wonder
But
if you could somehow make that in Forge.
That's
Probably.
what
well, I was
wondering,
thinking,
too.
I wonder if El Dorito, because that's still going, and I got to do an El Dorito stream. But yeah, whether you do 4v4 or 8v8, it's perfect. And I used to prefer 8v8, and now I prefer 4v4. It's a tighter, more arcadey type experience. It's more closed in. You get into those fights. I was playing BTB today, which is what I used to play all the time. Not having as much fun, but the grandiose nature of it, because I don't play Fortnite or any of these other like large-scale shooters because they don't appeal to me. But BTB was always like the big map. You can get in the tanks. You can get one-shotted across the map. There's explosions constantly, and it feels like a war. It feels absolutely like a war. So I have a hard time deciding if I like Halo 2 over Halo 3 in terms of multiplayer. But I agree with you, Paul. Halo 3 is just so refined. It's got something for everybody. And of course, getting to experience custom night with Dude last night. And there's people that only played custom games, which is just crazy. And I never did. I always stuck to the Slayer and Capture the Flag and Oddball. And I had a blast. And I've been playing it that way for almost 20 years. So you can still find games in it. In fact, don't quote me on it, but I feel like Halo 3 probably still has more players than Halo Infinite at this point, which is crazy.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Because what's weird about the state of Halo is because you split the player base between so many games now. Because you go in the Master Chief Collection and you have Halo 1, you have Halo 2, you have Halo 2 Anniversary, which actually defends now, at least the PvP. Then you have Halo 3, 4, Reach, and then Infinite. And so you're spreading everyone out. And so I always find it crazy. I can sometimes not find games of Halo 2. And it's just like, this is Halo 2. Are you telling me I can't play Halo 2 right now?
Seriously?
And yeah. No. If you don't go on at the right time, you will not find games in Halo 2. Like, sometimes I just want to play some Oddball or Crazy King in Halo 2. Can't do it. But Halo 3, always. You will always find a game in Halo 3.
There's always tryhards playing Halo 3 ready to fucking noob, not noob to you, but show you how much of a noob you are. I've played Halo 3 online multiplayer after playing like Halo 1 and 2 with Dude a couple months back. And if I wasn't in a game with someone who there would be times where I get into lobbies and the whole team was just like, have played this game still nonstop for the last 20 years and know exactly where I'm gonna spawn. And when I wasn't playing games like that, I was having a lot of fun. I was still kicking pretty good ass, and it was reminding me of the good old days. But yeah, no.
I feel old now. I miss the good old days playing Halo 2. I actually since I missed all on 3, I don't have a lot to say about the multiplayer. The only multiplayer I've actually played is with you guys.
Okay,
and
right on.
I've
love to
loved
do more
every
with you, man.
second of it. I think it's great. It's just, just like any time that you play multiplayer on any of these things, like, you have to know the maps, you have to know the weapons, you have to know what you have to just, it's experience. And I didn't get that experience. I had forgotten a lot of it over time with 2, and 3 I've got none. So if I was going to get back into it, I'd love to, but I have to get back into it.
Yeah.
If there's one issue with Halo 3's multiplayer, no Blood Gulch. What the hell? This is the Halo. Yeah, the Valhalla, which is a great map. I love Valhalla, but Valhalla is their replacement for Blood Gulch, because Halo 2 had Blood Gulch, but they called it Coagulation, I want to say. But it's the same map. It's just more, it's desertier. Is that a word? It is now. It looks different, but it's effectively the same map. But Valhalla is not the same map as Blood Gulch or Coagulation. It is very different, but it is the sequel to it, but it's a very, very, very different map. I just looked it up, by the way, if anyone's curious. Halo Master Chief Collection on Steam versus Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite has 4,501 players currently online. Master Chief Collection, 4,939 players online. So that is Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, and Reach and ODST all in one game, but still, that's pretty crazy. That shows kind of the current state of Halo. That the Master Chief Collection, which is much older than Halo Infinite, has a comparable but higher player base. And their 30-day average is bigger by about 1.5 thousand, I would say. It's 3,700 versus 2,200 in favor of Master Chief Collection. So old Halo wins.
Yeah,
pretty much.
well, we mentioned that Halo 3 was the orange box of Halo 1 and 2, but honestly, the Master Chief Collection is the orange box of Halo. You get
it is
everything.
now. It was rough when it launched. I was a big detractor of the Master Chief Collection. The multiplayer didn't feel correct, and like, if you played a lot of Halo like I did, it was like kills were happening when they shouldn't have been, and you know, like things weren't. The detection wasn't perfect, but it's been out for like almost 10 years, I think, at this point, which is crazy. And now I'm playing it. I'm like, it's pretty good. It's pretty safe. Yeah, I don't like all the bells and whistles they added, and I'm still banned on the Steam forums. But hey, what are you gonna do? So.
All right. So we quickly, we mentioned Forge. That like the two big features, other than multiplayer and the campaign, was Forge mode, and the other one being the theater, which that was pretty awesome to be able to go back, watch your multiplayer matches, and edit it and all that. There was tons of excellent moments. That was a good like, I think that was like one of the I don't know, was that the first time that was in a game like that? Because I don't want to
say it's the first, but it felt like it to me, didn't it?
Right. At least on console, for sure, on console.
Yeah, it was probably the first. It was probably the
shooter,
first
maybe.
widely successful one.
You can save your replays and then forever save them to your hard drive, and in the game watch them. But not only that, you could watch them from different perspectives, and you could go into free
Fighting game
cam.
fans have had it for way longer. I'm just saying.
2007.
Dead or alive, baby.
For sure. That I just mean, I guess in a shooter, especially a multiplayer console, especially because anyone who's playing on a PC could just screen record and capture and all that stuff. Console people for the first time got to have fun editing, and I thought I probably played more in theater mode than I did Forge. I don't think I touched really a minute of Forge, but theater mode was a lot of fun. And I appreciate little gimmicks like that. I know they had to compete with Halo 2 bringing in Xbox Live and multiplayer for the first time. So like, we got to bring something else extra, and I do appreciate those things. Again, Forge mode, basically the Tony Hawk skate park creator of the first person shooter.
Mario Kart,
Forge was cool. Dude sold me on it. I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, it can get a little janky, of course, because it's all like user generated. But I actually had a great time, and it's the amount of creative things you can do with it. Like, we did one where you just like kept continuously like going down constantly, and there's like a Jenga one. The Jenga one was really fun, where it was just like shooting at people on like a tower, and it's almost like Angry Birds. And then like whoever stood up last would like win, kind of thing. But it's you don't even think about it when you look at Halo, single player or multiplayer, like that you could manipulate the game in such a way, and Forge makes it like a party creator pretty much.
Yes.
And that's all stuff you could do in 2007 on your Xbox, right? Like no mods. That's the crazy part is it's all like if someone out there has not seen Forge, you pretty much are playing as 343 Guilty Spark, and you're going around and manually adding things into the level, all with your 360 controller. And then the theater, what made the theater so cool is that the replays, it wasn't just like your camera angle. You could watch it from anyone's camera angle, or you could go free cam and watch the whole fight over again from your enemy's perspective, from any perspective. There was so much cool stuff done with the elephant being like the big new vehicle that like nobody liked, but it was hilarious in Forge mode because it's just like this, it goes 5 miles an hour, but it has like 3 turrets on it, and it's just like, what do you do with this big, it's a walking building, and it's just so you could fuck shit up in Forge if you wanted to with it.
It's like the Mario Maker before Mario Maker was a thing, really.
The closest, like I said, the closest thing I could remember to doing anything close to that was in like Tony Hawk 2 or 3, where they let you start building your own skate park and stuff that. I used to love doing those. Oh my god! But I'm kind of sad I didn't mess with Forge mode, because I do like to tinker with stuff, and but I've never really messed with like level design of a first person shooter. So I didn't even know where to begin. But
I feel like Paul would be that guy that would spend like 50 hours making the jankiest, most ridiculous concept level ever, and it would end up just being like Duck Hunt or Jenga, and it would be hilarious. I feel like if Paul actually took the time to do that, that would be something we would end up playing.
Well,
Yeah,
Paul,
Duck Hunt was cool.
I
Yeah.
missed Duck Hunt. I actually wanted to play that one. I'm sad.
Apparently,
I am sad with the timing, but
oh yeah, no, we need to do a sequel and bring you back in. It's a Master Chief collection. I don't even blame you or anybody. It's just the infrastructure or something with that game is so busted. But Paul, apparently Halo Infinite's Forge mode is insanely good, and it's keeping the game single-handedly alive. So if you ever want to mess around, it's also free to play. The multiplayer is free to play, so there you go. You don't have to buy it. So you can make some wacky shit.
I think I'm gonna start digging into some Forge mode and see what kind of dang stuff I could create. Aster Chief Collection. Thank you, Patience. Very appropriate. Let's see. Any other like favorite moments from Halo 3? Favorite weapons? Favorite like things that they upgrade? Like this was the first time they brought in brutes, right? In the game, they weren't.
No, they were in Halo 2. They were in Halo 2. Yeah, no,
Okay.
the Arbiter campaign was all about the ascension of the brutes and kind of taking over the Covenant, and it's like now we're the top guys.
But this is the introduction of brute
exactly.
weapons and vehicles. This was the hammer was introduced in this one, right?
The hammer was in Halo 2, but I think it's the first time it was usable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tartarus had a gravity hammer. It was completely unusable otherwise. You did get a couple of weapons. You had the brute shot and the brute plasma rifle, and that was it in 2.
Right. This one brought the brute little dual wheel
chopper.
The chopper.
I'm not a fan of the brute vehicles. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Neither am I. Thank you. Okay, yeah. There's the one mark against Halo 3. Fuck the chopper. It sucks.
Okay, they're not great. I'd rather have a ghost, but
for every single time.
True, I do. Yeah, Covenant vehicles overall. Honestly, some 1 or 2 new human vehicles introduced in 3. The little helicopter thing.
The Hornet, the Mongoose, the Elephant.
Mongoose. Oh yeah. Right on. Yeah, those are I props to the game for introducing those vehicles, because yes, that did make the campaign and multiplayer a lot of fun. The brute weapons, take it or leave it. The hammer, like we said, it was the first time it was usable. You said, right?
Yeah, it was Tartarus's weapon at the end of Halo 2. So the final boss has a big hammer and one shot.
Right,
you.
But as far as like multiplayer and throughout the campaign for this,
Chief was never able to use it. Just
until
he was able to kill the guy holding it. That was
exactly. Until 3, we had to put the magical 3 number next to Halo, and now you could use a hammer.
Yeah, it was similar to the energy sword, because the energy sword you couldn't use in Halo 1.
In Halo 1, exactly.
And then in Halo 2 you can use it. That's actually one of my little nitpicks, and I've said this before, and I want to freaking talk to someone from Bungie, because it's such a nitpick. It's such a nitpick, but forever my favorite weapon has always been the energy sword, and I think it's because Halo for me was the new Star Wars, and so energy swords are almost like the new lightsaber, and I thought they were so cool in Halo 2. And I just loved how they looked when you were holding them as the player, and they looked like a dagger, and you're holding them like this. But then in Halo 3, in every game onward, you hold them up, and I've always thought they look stupid because you hold them like to the side of your face, and it's such a nitpick, and it's so pointless. Yeah. But that is one thing that I think Halo 2 absolutely has over Halo 3 is the energy sword is way cooler. And I just want to know what the design decision is as to why they went from holding it like this to holding it up against their face, because it doesn't make sense, because you're still charging them. When you look at another player using it, they're still holding it like this, but in the HUD, like from your perspective, they hold it like this. And it's just my like game design brain being like, fucking why? I just want to know why, and it makes no sense to me. But yeah, I mean, Paul, I can talk about this game nonstop. You mentioned the scarabs.
Yes.
I love the scarab moment in Halo 2. It's so iconic. That's when Mjolnir mix hits. But Halo 3, the fact that when you fight a scarab, you can it really feels like it's there. It's not like a scenario that you
Yeah,
have to
'cause
play through.
dude was mentioning, he was like, this is the first time you're fighting a scarab unscripted, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's interesting. Yeah, so that
it's
it
an
really
actual
felt
enemy
fight.
that you can tackle, and you can tackle it however you want. And it's so cool to be like, do you go for the legs? Do you jump in and take it out from the inside? Do you take out the turret from the top?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when I just did it on one player right before the stream, I made it kneel down with a ghost and then yeeted myself with the ghost and started running things over. It's like, there you go.
Amazing.
That's how you do it, yeah.
Okay, so our playthrough was this. We all were in ghosts or other vehicles. We were all shooting the legs. Like, this all happened in 3 seconds, mind you. Like, it was hilarious to play with 4 people who were pros. Like, seriously, it was just like, take out the legs. All right, he's down. Neo ran in like a fucking superhero, threw a grenade. He's like, I'm coming out already. It was hilarious. Like, it was the funniest playthrough. Like, how quick, like... Dude, because in Halo 3 it's cool when you play multiplayer. The host is Master Chief. Somebody gets to play the Arbiter, and then the other guys are just red shirt elites.
But they have unique design, and they look really fucking cool. At least one of them does. Player 3 looks cool. Player 4 looks a little retarded, but that's okay. We love him.
But I love that.
But that's so much better than just 2 Master Chiefs, 2 Arbiters. Like, and the game is canon that, like, throughout it, it's RB and a Chief. The game Halo 3 is a buddy cop. It's a buddy cop story.
It is.
Only in the Cortana level is Chief supposed to be solo. And because it's just like, I'm getting my girl, right? So he's got to do this on his own. But if you play it single player, RB is there throughout all of it except for that level. I think Arbiter, like, he's your ride on the end of that level. So he's there. That's how you know you beat the level, is that he's there waiting for you at the end, if I remember correctly.
It was weird that Arbiter was here in Cortana as well.
That
doesn't make sense. He's just like, what did I get in through? Like, what am I dealing with my bro here? I have to deal with this crazy bitch girlfriend, and it's just like,
just ignore that part. Just ignore.
That's what
part.
A bro goes through when he's a real OG.
It's like, I'm hearing your bitch too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn bitch, get off my dick! I'm just here to kill some monkeys. That's it.
That's right.
The scarab fight, that was that huge one we did, right, James, with the 2 scarabs or whatever? I remember
you fight
that
a scarab
being
twice.
dreadful for our run because you said something didn't spawn properly.
So that's the thing, is I played this game so many times and I'm still finding new things about it. And I found new things with you. And yeah, every time I have fought that double scarab scenario, hornets spawn somewhere and you're able to get into a hornet, and that's how you do that fight, is you're just flying around the hornets. And then when I did it with you, I'm like, where are the hornets at? And I'm like, what? And so we had to do it.
Didn't spawn?
The hornets didn't spawn, so we had to just do it like without hornets. And it was much more difficult because that fight is great in the hornets. Like, you have this overview of these 2 scarabs and they're shooting at you. It's a totally different experience.
Yeah,
but then
I did not get that experience, I was pissed off at that point of the game.
Because we had no hornets, though, we had that clippable moment that you clipped, because I was in a warthog and I'm like, all right, no hornets, fuck it, let's do this, Leroy, and I just went off a cliff and I warthogged into the scarab and I landed inside of it, and I was like, did that just happen? I've never seen that happen. And that's something like this game, because most of the story is told through the game, you're able to get unique, hilarious scenarios like that happen, and you're able to have like these special one-of-a-kind moments happen where it's just like, it could have played it 20 times and I wouldn't see the same thing happen, and it's just beautiful.
Flame Mage saying wow. You know what, those
the giant spider.
The giant spider thing, yeah, that's pretty similar to Wild Wild West. That's hilarious. You were Will Smith in that scenario. Wow.
Finally.
Snapple saying, I was there. Yeah. I was there for that moment.
That was a crazy moment, yeah.
That's great.
But like leading up to that was so annoying because I kept getting spawned like at the other end of the map. So every time I would die, I would be just like driving for like 5 minutes to even get close to do anything, and it irritated me so much. It happened like 2 or 3 times.
These are the little things that I notice in the Master Chief collection where I'm just like, I swear to you, I played this so many times originally. This shit ain't supposed to happen, and they've ironed out most of the issues, but there is still something about the Master Chief Collection that's just bubbling.
Remember?
Yeah,
in, like,
I've never seen that.
There was a guy that was just hidden somewhere, so we were like waiting to progress further in like the second or third level, and we're like, why is nothing triggering? And we're like wandering around, and then we go to like this rooftop, like totally out of the way, and you see this guy just standing there chilling.
I felt so
like,
dumb
what?
because I'm telling everyone this is my favorite game ever, and we're on level 2, and I'm like, I don't know where to go. What's going on? And we spent like 20 minutes, and it was because we didn't kill all the brutes, and one of the brutes with a jetpack, he decided to go fuck this, and he jetpacked up to the top of a building, and he just sat there, not shooting anybody, just hiding. And we were walking around for 20 minutes, and then I suddenly spotted him, and it's like, why is there a brute up there? And we named him.
You named him? What was his name?
I don't remember. It's in our playthrough.
Bob or something.
It was like Bob, and then we killed him, and then it triggered the next part.
That's fucking wild. I love stuff like that. It's
infuriating,
but when you realize it, you're just like, you just can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know if that can happen on the original version because we played Master Chief Collection, but I have never seen that.
That's hilarious. Now that I think about it, because yes, we've been playing, me and Dude played 1 and 2 through the Master Chief Collection, and I may be mistaken, but I have to look back. I'm pretty sure there's at least 2 to 3 times, if not more, where Dude is like, wait, what's going on? This isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And this is Dude who has played through the game many times. So yeah,
then he would be the first one to tell you immediately, like, oh, that's not right, that's not supposed to happen.
Exactly, he'll be the first one to let me know. And yeah, that has happened a few times. So but like you said, it's part of the fun, it's part of the chaos. I love it. Shout out to Patience for follow. Hell yeah, let's go.
Patience.
Hell yeah, Patience.
Oh, it's too quiet.
I was like, where's that coming from?
I thought that was like in my house. What the hell?
Yeah, like, who's applauding me?
It's like are they having a party downstairs? What the fuck?
What's going on?
Hilarious. Alrighty, well, damn kids, stop with your Halo 3 talk. Or actually, they're
talking about it for 20 years.
20 years. Alrighty. Any last closing thoughts or statements on this game?
I can give one more nitpick if you want.
Let's go.
Yeah, make me mad one final time. Do it.
This is my final little nitpick. It really irritates me when you dual wield and then you do any other action and you automatically drop the weapon.
The gun.
It's so stupid. I wanted to play the entire game dual wielding because I just love playing games like that.
Yeah.
And every time I would drop it, I'm like, this is so stupid because I also like to get up close and like hit people melee style too. And I'm like, you can't do both. It just doesn't like feel comfortable.
You're not gonna like Halo 2 neither. That's where it was. They did the same thing in Halo 2.
I've explained it to her. But she hates that mechanic. But it was the same in Halo 2. That's how.
But I do love the game. I'm not saying I don't want that to make it sound like I don't love the game. I do. It's just like the combat feels perfect, buttery smooth, amazing, everything. And then that one little thing prevented me from giving that a 10 out of 10 on the game. So I'm just like, this affects the combat so much.
I'll defend it in one. Real quick. I'll say if they did allow dual wielding at all times, I feel like you'd be extra overpowered.
The only thing that I think you should be able to do while you're dual wielding is melee. Just being able to whack people with your guns. But
completely agree.
If you gotta,
you should be able to melee if you have 2 guns. That shouldn't affect anything.
It's like I have like 2 pistols. I'm not doing anything super powerful. I just like to go around 2 pistols, and then I'm like hitting one enemy. Nope. Done.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Also, is it just me, or can you not reload one of your weapons when you're dual wielding?
You can reload them.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
Then I don't know. Then I guess I'm missing.
And that felt great, by the way.
It's really the melee.
Yeah. Oh, you might not.
Melee? Do they reload separately? Because in 2,
they reload. If you use the bumper, you left bumper, right.
Yes, that's
bumper.
what it is. Because And that was my other complaint, is that this one was a jump because I'm a default control setting guy. Dude was yelling, or not dude, Neo was yelling at me to change. He's like, why do you have this button as zoom? Why do you have this button as reload? I'm like, because it's default and I ain't going to change it. Whatever. So,
well,
yeah.
Nerdy Neo plays inverted, which is like heresy to me.
Blasphemous. And he doesn't eat corn. Who doesn't eat corn? I know. It's crazy.
That's
it's
out of nowhere. But
Trust me, it's a wild thing.
It's like not liking pickles on anything.
It's
So there you go.
It's not. It's like not liking oatmeal cookies. You don't know.
no, it's evolving.
Paul, it's the raisin. It's not the.
I just want to defend dual wielding in Halo. So I've explained it.
Cookies.
All right. I've lost my train of thought. Where was I originally? So yeah, this is the first game where it introduced the right bumper to be the reload button. And when you dual wield, the left bumper reloads the left hand. You have separate. I actually do like that, and I did get used to it pretty quickly. I will say that I like jumping from playing. If I play one shooter a lot, where the reload button is X, and then I jump into this, it takes me a good. There's a couple accidental shield throwouts and with the X button. I should have just changed it, but I'm too lazy. Some people.
I do remap my controls in a shooter if I'm playing on a controller to be as close to Halo 3 as possible.
Really? RB is usually your reload in games?
Yeah, RB, X is my activate, B is my melee. Clicking right stick is aim down the sights. But if it's more like Call of Duty where it's like a hold or something, then you have to be left trigger, right?
Right.
I like
agree.
the Halo 3 style of the, you stay scoped kind of thing.
Yes,
but,
I was just Neo was saying that he does it where the left trigger is zoom in, and I'm like, hell no, not in Halo. Right click is zoom in. I'm team right click.
And that's what Halo 5 Guardians changes, is that it's the hold. If once you play Guardians, again, Halo 5 Guardians is just a fucking Call of Duty game that calls itself Halo. It doesn't play like Halo at all. You don't think you're playing a Halo game. It's crazy. There is nothing about it that feels like Halo. It's COD. It's just fucking COD.
I'll see when I get there.
You're gonna hate it, I bet. Or actually, no. If you like Call of Duty, you might like it. I don't know.
Because I do like Call of Duty, and I don't mind a little Call of Duty in my Halo. I don't hate the sprint in 4.
Reach.
I am probably never gonna play 4. I am just gonna say that now. I'll probably play 3 and Reach and just be done with it.
That's the way to go, man.
That's honorable.
You never played Reach, right?
I've seen another friend of mine play Reach, so I know the story beats, but I haven't played it myself. I'll probably play it with a friend. Also, James, I'd like to find a time to play Cursed Halo. I think that shit would be funny as hell.
I gotta figure that shit out. Okay, I'm down if we can figure it out.
I think it's
I've never done
workshop.
Because I wanna do El Dorito, and that's gonna be even more complicated. So
it's a Steam Workshop mod called Cursed Halo again.
I remember. Wait, we're so off topic now, but was it like horny or something? Is that why we didn't do it initially? Is it? There's like hentai screens or something?
No, it was because it was
we had to mod it, right?
No, it was because it was it's a workshop mod and it's a single player mod. That's why.
Okay.
It's because we were doing community events, but it's single player, and we had to mod it and all this. Anyways.
So the reason that you drop your gun when you're dual wielding and melee is because the logic on the dual wielding in Halo is that Halo, you're supposed to only have 2 weapons, and you can hate that if you want, because shooters before then you could have 10 weapons. And I love Duke Nukem and Doom, so I get it. But Halo, it changed things up with the overshield and all that stuff. So when it added when it comes to weapons, you're supposed to have 1 weapon in your hand and 1 on your side you can swap with. The addition of dual wielding is, well, all your hands are taken up. You have 1 on your side, and then you have 2 in your hand. So when you swap your weapon, you have to obviously drop that weapon. But also when you melee, because you're doing a unique animation, like using your shoulder or something, you also drop it.
Yeah, but you can pistol whip them. This is my argument.
But it also
hit them with the weapon.
But
and
it
some
also
of the weapons do
pistol
whip.
Some of them do.
So then
don't
you
quote
use
me,
the argument
but
of like, it breaks the weapon when you pistol whip or something because you hit them so hard. But then the thing is, they don't break the weapon or anything. They don't hit with it. They just drop it.
It also comes into play
You
in
can
the
pick it up again.
multiplayer, though, because it's like, do you go in for the melee and drop a weapon, or do you just go backwards and keep shooting with dual wielding?
I could see that, but then they should have just left it
Because
in
Halo
single
2 is
player.
a big... Oh, then that would be a lot more
I mean,
programming
to be honest here,
differences.
I'm judging purely on the campaign because I did not play the multiplayer.
Right.
So
So if it was,
Yeah, I
if it
can
was
see
Halo 2's multiplayer is a lot of risk reward, like the
Yeah.
plasma pistol versus and the BXR and all that stuff. So it's yeah, the dual wielding. Okay, we got to get you on for some Halo 2 multiplayer. Then maybe you'll come around. How about that?
all right,
We're gonna make
See
her
if
a
I get
pro.
convinced.
Yeah, MLG baby.
let's go.
There's a
Soon-
funny story for Halo 3. One time I was playing Halo 3 and this guy told me, he was like, man, you're so good. I work for MLG. We should get you on. And I was like, okay. He's probably just trying to groom me.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. This
Hold
isn't
on.
the MLG offices. This is a shower.
Wait, I got a song for that.
Feeding the ducks.
Perfect.
No.
Hey boy.
No. I'm
You want to
going.
play?
Yeah.
I'm right back in. Oh my god. I'm
Oh,
going
yeah.
MLG Pro. MLG baby.
You think the
Oh.
competitive gaming industry isn't just like the Hollywood movie industry? Come here,
Oh
boy.
my god.
Complete with a casting couch these days too.
He was sending me voice chats and everything. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, he sent you that one voice chat where, oh my god, I don't know if it was Call of Duty or Halo. I think it was a Halo one, but that iconic one where the guy is like, yeah, you may have beat me, but I could do something with my fingers that you could never do. And then he starts playing Enter Sandman poorly
Yeah.
on guitar.
Those were the days. Like
Those are
the
the
360 the 360 live experience really was a factor of why Halo 3 was so good. Just
yeah.
and the NXC ruined it because before the NXC, if you were in a party and you went into a public lobby, it would put you into public chat. But the new Xbox experience made it so that you would be in a private call once you partied up. So as soon as the NXC hit in 2008, Xbox Live got a lot quieter and a lot more silent.
Because
You were
everyone
not
was in their party chats.
Yeah, you weren't thrown to the wolves and shit didn't go crazy. It was everyone was just talking to their friends and that was it. Fuck you, Don
Yeah.
Metric, I hate you.
Boo. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about 2 hours. I think that's a good place to wrap it there. If anybody else has any other last thoughts on
Paul,
Halo
stop me
3.
before I talk another 2 hours. I love this
Oh,
game. It's
no.
the best
The
Yeah,
king
I'm
is
my
dead.
favorite.
Long live the king.
There you go.
There we go. Talk about how Halo 3 was sexy. Anyways.
It was.
It was. It honestly, I'm happy for this to be the first game on the book club because this was iconic. That's right. Hold on. Let me blast.
Well,
Let me
there we
show
go.
those off.
We got
Oh,
multiple. We got my cat helmet version right here, and then here's the DVD that came with it. My cat helmet is in storage, and then I also have the middle of the road collector's edition because I have to have all the versions. I don't know. I just got this at a Goodwill, so I just saw it and I had
Nice.
to buy it. So
beautiful. Heck yeah. Well, that'll do it for today. Let's go around, do some outros. We're gonna leave Feeding the Ducks playing on. This is perfect outro music. I don't care what anybody says. Devil, I don't have a problem. I just like this song.
I don't have a problem. I can stop anytime I want.
I can stop anytime I want. Alrighty. Let's go around, let people know what you got coming up and the good shilling and all that. Let's start off with the melees. What do you guys got coming up?
Well, it's nothing too crazy for us right now. Tomorrow is going to be the Melee Madness podcast. And that'll probably be around, I want to say like 7 p.m. PST is usually roughly the time we go live. But Friday through Monday, we're going to be offline doing some upgrades to our setup. So we're actually going to be offline for the weekend. Next week, we will be back, but we don't have anything scheduled like right after, just in case there's any weird technical difficulties. So we'll probably just go live with a random game stream sometime mid next week. And then, of course, at the end of next week, on the Friday, the 9th, we have Melee Town Square. And the theme over at Melee Games this month is picked by me, of course, the Sexy Babe Summers. So we are going to be talking all things sexy video game women all month in August. We're going to be playing a lot of sexy games. It's just going to be a good time. We're going to have some fun, guys.
When is
Now-
when is the town square?
The 9th, the Friday the 9th.
Friday the 9th. I will see
Yes.
if I can come up with something.
And Kay
It's gonna
has
be a
to
good time.
preface that the sexy girls is all her idea because if I say it, I get arrested in Canada. But I'm excited nonetheless.
I mean, I always pick the themes, but this is the one I was really passionate about this time. I was like, all right, James, you
That's
can have
on
your
brand.
Halo. This one, I'm like, no, we're gonna have some.
What does it say about me
fun.
that I like the big, thick, green, bulky men, and then for Halo month, and then your month is sexy women? What is wrong with us over at Melee
I'm
Games?
so excited.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing's wrong at all.
Absolutely nothing.
I created so many sexy characters in Soul Calibur 6 that I'm ready
Let's
to
go.
show off too. So it's gonna be good.
I mean, I always
for
pick
having us, Paul,
female
by the way.
characters when I get the chance to pick a character.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of, man, you know what? I should join for the sexy girl town square because
Come hang out, yeah.
I have quite a few stories of mods I used to download for Unreal Tournament.
Oh, you're a Skyrim mod enjoyer, aren't you?
You know what? No, I mean,
The Fush Road
for a
to
little-
God to drink breast milk or whatever.
I did
That's
do a
right.
bit of Skyrim modding and Fallout 4 modding a little bit. Now I didn't do it for as long as most people do because I got into Skyrim late and I got into Skyrim PC late. But I did do some modding, and yeah, there is a theme of an onslaught of naked sleuths. There's a theme with me. I like naked sleuths on my team.
This town
It's-
square is the time. You talk about it. We'll show
I
off
might-
as much as we can without getting banned on YouTube. It's gonna be the day. And like, if anyone has anime statues, this is your time to show them off, judgment free. I'm not gonna judge you for having those anime titty statues in your house. I'm gonna
Please
celebrate
don't show any of the glue variety.
them. No. Hey.
Show the glue, show the glue kind. Show your
I was
waifu
thinking it,
pillows.
He said it.
Yeah, that's
you
why
got-
I'm here.
If you got waifu pillows, bring them.
Yeah. Do it. Catherine. Everyone has a Catherine pillow. Come on. I want to see at least one Catherine pillow on that stream.
Who's gonna show it? Gotta pick the ladies. That's right.
Hell
Thank you,
yeah.
Snapple, for saying was a fun stream. Thanks for hosting. Thanks. Hell yeah, guys.
And in
yeah.
theme with Halo, I know what the ladies like. So there you go.
Ayo. Oh, real quick. I'm in Raw with the $1.
Oh
Saying,
hell yeah.
you think I'm crazy? You think I'm gone? So what if I'm crazy? All the best people are, and I think you're crazy too. Wait, why does it sound like song lyrics? I know you're gone. That's probably
Sing
the
it,
reason-
Paul.
I don't know. Why does this sound so familiar?
Sing it with me.
Sounds like a metal song. You think I'm crazy? I'm crazy.
Amon Ra is Corey Taylor confirmed.
It is confirmed. Thank you, Amin Ra, for that. You are a legend. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, thanks again. You too. Wait, James, were you saying something about something else that you were doing?
Hot gluing.
Hot gluing. That's
Oh.
right.
Yes.
None of that. No.
Hot
Seriously,
gluing.
thank you for having us, Paul. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you guys
Paul's
for
the
coming
best.
on. I was gonna make a joke about you're like, oh, next month's Lady Months, and I'm like, now it makes sense why you chose Mulholland Drive for a movie book club. You just wanted some
That
naked
one
titties.
scene? You know what?
Oh.
Okay,
Worth it.
this is
The one
a
scene
very
was
Next month
worth
is
it.
lesbian month. There we
tiniest
go.
small note, but like I actually completely forgot about that scene. And then
Liar.
when we watched it, no, genuinely,
I didn't
forgot.
forget about that
I
scene.
remembered the masturbating scene at the end, but I did not remember the like lesbian scene in the middle. And I was like, oh my god, what did I just send to Paul and Insidious?
A gift.
A gift. James knew right away. He's like, you choosing Mulholland Drive? Yes.
I wanted to choose a racer head. I was gonna make them miserable, and you were like, "Nah, we're gonna make them horny." Okay.
That might be almost as miserable. Depending.
If you get
True.
horny at a racer head, then you get arrested.
Fair.
Oh my god. Alrighty. Imp Black Belt, what do you got coming up, buddy?
I don't fucking know.
That's
That's
I love it.
I mean, I'm always so I've been enjoying some time with some other friends of mine. As people know, I announced fairly recently, I am now part of a small informal streaming group. We call ourselves
Nice.
the Romp Raft. Every Sunday after work, I hang out with them. We just kind of do whatever, and they're playing through some Kingdom Hearts. They're
Okay.
doing all of the Kingdom Hearts games. It's going to be a very interesting time. And we're just going to go ahead and play through all that stuff and just commentate, throw buckets of popcorn, Mystery Science Theater 3000 style. It'll be a lot of fun. Beyond that, I stream Mondays and Tuesdays, so I'll try to do as much multiplayer on one day as I can and retro on the other day as much as I can. So right now I'm in my Wii U arc, and I just started Sonic and the Secret Rings. And
Ooh,
oh boy, I already fucking hate it. So, it is not good. It's interesting, but oh boy, the controls are so fucking stiff and awkward.
So busted, bro.
It's so busted. It's got a great aesthetic, at least. That at least is good, but I am playing another really fun game, Trauma Center: Second Opinion. That game,
Great game. Very underrated.
and in one night we discovered we had magic powers, battled zombie cancer, disarmed a bomb, and successfully did surgery on board an airplane with turbulence. So yeah,
God damn.
think about
Wow.
it like Surgeon Simulator, but entirely serious with a story written by Atlas.
It's like Phoenix Wright for surgery.
Kind of.
That's how I would compare it,
except it's
yeah.
like actually fucking intense. Like some of these are like kind of like a puzzle. If you're not really sure like how it should go, it's just kind of fucking insane. Some of the stuff that you got. It's like, oh well, all right, well it's like and it's a puzzle trying to figure out how to fight these. And then one of the diseases you have to fight is like radius. And it's fucking wild. Like what the fuck is
Shit.
going on? It's
Wow,
absolutely
right on.
crazy and I love it.
Since you compared yourself to Mystery Science Theater, I just want to say that without knowing anything, Imp is definitely the crow of the group. No doubt about it. I want to know who the Tom Servo is, but Imp is definitely the crow.
Oh no, I definitely made a little St. James Island reference on the last one. We're talking about Kingdom Hearts here, right? It's like, where the fuck is this Castle Oblivion located? Even like, oh boy,
Oh,
we get a
great.
little crazy in here. We get a little
Love it.
crazy.
I love it. Everybody, if you haven't already, do go subscribe to Imp Black Belt. I think I have this. If I don't have the descriptions down or the links in the description yet, I will very soon. But absolutely, you're a damn legend, and yeah, I always love watching your streams, playing stuff you love. It's good to see.
I also recently hit 100 subs on YouTube, which is great. I think I might have talked about that before. I could just pop those down, and yeah, those are it's a lot of fun. And again, thanks everyone for all the support, everything. You guys are great, all of you guys, and I'm super glad to call you guys friends. Everyone that I've met through this has been super fucking awesome, and I will always be more than happy to reach out and chat with people.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, man.
I appreciate all of y'all for coming on and just having a chat with the about whatever, whether it's games, music, movies, all that stuff. And yeah, no, you guys are all legends, and I'm, again, like Imp said, happy to call you guys friends. And yeah, man, it's been a blast. It's crazy that it's been like a year of hanging out and dicking around with this community of friends we've kind of accumulated here. It's
and here's to many more, right boys?
Here's
right boys.
here's
The ride
to
never
many
ends.
more.
The ride
Part-
never ends.
It never. We just getting started here, motherfuckers.
Buckle up, buckaroos.
Stein.
Alrighty. Well, shout out again to chat. Big ups to Shane Bentley and Amin Ra for that. The contributions you guys make the show keep going, and I appreciate that so much. So to the chat, to my guests, everybody, to Feeding the Ducks.
And another thing about Halo 3.
That'll do it. Peace out, everybody. Have a good
Peace.
one.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
I love this.